It is a sad day. It is an exciting day. I mean, I don't know if we want to say it's sad or exciting that Best Ball Mania has filled on Underdog Fantasy, the largest fantasy football tournament on the planet for $15 million. I don't know if we want to say it's a good day because we actually have real football tomorrow. I don't know if we want to say it's a bad day because we get the report coming out that Cooper Kupp may be placed on the IR. So we have a lot of the mixed emotions. I definitely want to fire up some new fantasy football drafts. We're getting into high stakes ones and get an idea of where Cooper Kupp and these guys are actually now valued in fantasy football. So let's go and let's see how many spots are going to be open in the Big Dog 3 tournament. Now, I do not recommend you to get into the Big Dog if you are new on Underdog Fantasy. If you are new on Underdog and want to fire up a draft before the season starts, they're best ball drafts, no time commitment at all during the season. So it's going to be the best place for you to get like an extra draft and not have to worry about it during the year and place your main league. I would go to the Puppy 4. That's a $5 buy-in where a member of the flock last year won a Puppy tournament for $75,000. I personally won the Big Dog tournament last year for $100K. But this is going to be a high stakes tournament. You definitely don't want to be getting on here if you are new to Underdog. We will get in though, ladies and gentlemen. And there are 2 spots open. 1 spot open now if anybody wants to come out and hang out with us. And Joey says, one more night, baby. Yes, you better believe one more night. So let's go ahead and look. This is filled. I'm very interested to see where Cooper Kupp's now going in these high stakes drafts. We have the 101. So thank God we're not going to have to sit here and think, oh, okay, do I take Cooper Kupp? Do I pass? No. I mean, very clear-cut place. If Cooper Kupp makes to us at the 2-3 turn, maybe we will have an issue. Maybe we'll actually have to sit here and think about it. But in reality, I mean, we're going to be in a very good spot just to go through and take Jefferson in round 1. But Luke coming out here, thank you so much for everybody coming and hanging out with us. I know we've been live streaming nonstop as of late. I think we'll have live stream for about like 32 hours in a 4-day period leading up to kickoff. It's been a blur. It's been wild. And if you have been hanging out with me, I owe you a massive, massive thank you. And I actually ordered a couple hundred Flock Network hats to go through and give away some hats. We will have instructions on that maybe later in the live stream tonight, definitely later in the week at minimum. But let's go ahead and let's take Justin Jefferson here, not having to think about that one too much. CMC goes immediately after at pick 2. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, just in case if you don't know what's going on, we are drafting on Underdog. This is where we've drafted for 131 days in a row this offseason. They're best ball drafts, no time commitment at all during the year. So I drafted 700 teams, won $150,000 last season. And it's not too late. You have until Thursday kickoff. You want to go through and hop into one of these drafts. I would definitely say now's the best time to get on Underdog because they also have a special Patrick Mahomes pick'em for tomorrow night, more than less than half a total yard against the Detroit Lions. Plus, they have a Josh Allen exclusive special pick'em only for people who use promo code FLOCK on Underdog, more than less than half a passing yard against the Jets. And if you're new to Underdog, you get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog have 3 special pick'ems the same week. I'm sorry, I've never even seen them have 2 special pick'ems the same week. Make sure you take advantage of it. Promo code FLOCK will get you 100% a positive match, plus our 2023 fantasy football rankings, a free trial to flockfantasy.com where you can find all of our premium content. And make sure you're taking advantage of those special pick'ems. But let's go ahead. Joshua says, I wanted to say I got in this with you. Excited. Hell yes, my man. I am pumped to draft with you. Let me know what pick you are at. I think we had a couple questions coming out. Our first one coming from, I believe, maybe Austin here. Or Alex says, just drafted Jalen Hurts, Bijan, James Cook, Garrett Wilson, Ridley, and Joku Dotson. Kupp in the 5th. Phenomenal value on Kupp. Kamara in the 8th. Taylor in the 10th. Ayuk, Mooney, Deion Jackson. Honest opinion. I think if you can start off the season 2-2, you win the league. Or at least have a real good shot to win the league. Kupp in round 5. JT in round 10. Good luck staying alive at the beginning of the season. But if you can, you're going to be in a phenomenal, phenomenal spot, my friend. Now, A.J. Brown off the board at pick 8. Let's see where Kupp goes. Brownie Muncher's coming out and says, should I trade Dak and Lamb for Mahomes? I have Kelsey as my tight end. Honestly, I'd say no, my man. And for wide receivers, we have Metcalf, Hopkins, Sutton, Drakeland. I mean, I really like going out there and getting the elite level quarterback, but Dak and Lamb is like too much. If we could go, say, Dak and Metcalf, then hell yeah. Okay, now Leo coming out says, hey, dog, doing a super flex auction in about 30 minutes. 2 flex spots plus the super flex. How do we approach it? 10-team league, overpay and get 2 elite level quarterbacks. You can find wide receiver depth later on. Oh, overpay for the elite level QBs, my man. Jackson says 10-team full BBR league, 1 flex from the 106. Mahomes, love having an elite quarterback in this format. Bijan, Walker, AJ, Higgins, Njoku, Williams, Lockett. Beautiful team. Beautiful team. If somehow we can pack together like Connor and Njoku, get an elite level tight end in a 1 flex league, I think that'd be even better. Ray says, how do I get one of the team evals by you? I'm the motherfucker here. Send it in the roster submissions tab, my man. Make sure you join the Discord. You can find the link to the Discord on flockfantasy.com. Then send a screenshot of your team in the roster submissions tab, and I'll be happy to get that sent out for you, my friend. Brandon says, Rashee Rice or Sean Tucker for the bench stash. I'll go with Rashee Rice just so we can see him on Thursday, and maybe we get some clarity then. Bud Wheeler says, hey, Mason, 10-team at BBR1 flex. We have Lawrence, Etienne, Walker, Chase, Lamb, Goddard, Ridley. What are your thoughts and any trades? Love the Lamb, Etienne, Ridley double stack. And we have the elite level wide receivers still with Chase and Lamb. No trades. Beautiful team going all in on the Jacksonville Jaguars there, my man. But yeah, Cooper Kupp still available. And ladies and gentlemen, do I take Cooper Kupp if he makes to us at 24? Please, everybody in the, oh no, Cooper Kupp went 9. Oh my God. Yeah, Law says, Team 9, retire, please. Thank God we don't even have to stress about it. They take Cooper Kupp over Lamb here. Kelsey off the board at 10. I actually took Kelsey at 13 in a draft earlier this morning. But crazy to see them go ahead and take Cooper Kupp off the board at 9. That's wild. Skull says Kupp going to the IR. It's not guaranteed, but it's a high probability. I mean, I wouldn't know if I would take Kupp at 24, let alone 9. Okay. Let's swing this back around. We are going to get at least 1 elite level quarterback. Now, I'm going to take my guy in Jalen Hurts. Running backs are a little gross here. We're going to go Hurts and Higgins. Let's go Hurts and Higgins, ladies and gentlemen. Underdog get to start 3 wide receivers. These guys are going to be pushed up across the board. And yeah, I would rather have Jalen Hurts over Patrick Mahomes. I understand most people would say otherwise. 6-point passing touchdown format. You can go Mahomes, 4-point. I'm going to go with Hurts in the rushing upside. But Mr. Squirrel says, want to trade McLaurin, what would be fair? I mean, McLaurin's good to go this week. I'd say if you're looking to sell McLaurin, you're looking at like the Chris Godwin range, my friend. Rock Bottom asks, how many Best Ball Manias did he complete? I did 150 Best Ball Mania drafts on Underdog. I maxed them out. I had 2 more earlier this morning, and I finished out the 2 this morning, and both of those, I took Kelsey. I think 1, I took Kelsey at 13, and 1, maybe I took Kelsey at 15. But yeah, went for the unique build there. Okay. Now let's smooth this over. We have Mahomes making it all the way down to 30. If y'all don't know, these high-stakes drafts tend to be a little bit crazier than what you have with maybe like a regular fantasy football league. Like a $5 draft on Underdog, honestly, is going to be less crazy than a $250 draft on Underdog. And I understand that doesn't sound real. I understand it sounds like we're making that up. But no, if y'all been hanging out with us for a while now, I mean, you know that it's true. I mean, these $250 drafts are freaking nuts. Okay, Metcalf off the board at 31. Good news is, I mean, we've had so much news. Terry McLaurin looks like he is good to go week 1. And Jackson Smith-Njigba is also good. Brendan says just got Kupp at pick 37 in an Underdog draft that they are in. We'll see some more drafts that we'll do tonight on where Cooper Kupp is actually going, because I don't expect Kupp to go here very often. And Vito coming out says 10-team at BBR double flex. Lawrence, Chubb, Ramadre, Hall, JT, Diggs, Ridley, London, Pittman, Hollywood, Devon, H.J. Bateman, Gibson, Tua. ESPN says I drafted the worst. I think we're set. I mean, my man, it's going to be tough at the beginning of the year with JT and Hall. These guys aren't going to be producing early on, but they have the elite level upside long term. But we have great wide receiver production. I think once we get those RBs back in and producing, then at that point we trade for a tight end upgrade. But yeah, great team. Julian says, are we going to go Swift, JSN, or Van Jefferson at the flex? I'm going to go JSN, but I'm a madman. I'm a madman, my man. Actually, no, I'm going to go Swift. What am I talking about? Rick says, sit one, Swift, Van, Flowers, Grabs. Who the hell is Grabs? McKinnon. I don't know who Grabs is, so we're going to have to skip past that. I would sit Flowers out of those other four, though. Ibino coming out and says, 14-team, 4-point passing touchdown league. Should I trade Fields and Watson for Jalen Hurts? My backups are Deontay and Gabe Davis. If this was a 10-team league, it would be a no-brainer. 10-team league, hell yes, let's go ahead and do it. 14-team format's going to be much, much tougher. If it is a league with one flex spot, I think you can. A league with multiple flex spots, I think you can't. But I'm not going to be super pumped about that in a 14-team league like we would in a 12 or a 10-team format. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hit 200 likes on this live stream. If you have not done so already, please go down there, drop a like on the stream. Help us out, ladies and gentlemen. David says, just got offered Amari and the Bills for Hopkins and the 49ers. Yeah, I would go ahead and do it. I mean, I'm never one to go through and value a defense a ton. I'd definitely rather have Amari, though. 6-Foot Mouse says, why are you so low on Alexander Mattison? I feel like he has a low floor to high ceiling with touchdowns falling his way. I agree. I think he does have a low floor, high ceiling. I mean, it's a running back that we haven't seen him produce for an entire season before, but at the same time, I mean, there are a ton of touches in that backfield. So, yeah, I agree. I think Mattison has a low floor, high ceiling. I wouldn't say that I'm particularly too low on him. Okay. Let's move this back around. Christian Watson off the board at 42. So Watson had the report coming out that he's dealing with the hamstring now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Jason says, should I start Breece, Gibson, or McKinnon? Ooh. I'm actually probably going to go Breece, my man. I think it's a Brian Robinson game. Jay coming out says 14-team PBR 5 bench, 1 flex. So I trade Mike Williams, Deontay, Zeke, Dulcich for Andrews, Mostert, Pittman. Williams to Pittman, slight downgrade. Deontay, let's go Zeke to Mostert. Lateral move, doesn't matter. Deontay and Dulcich versus Andrews. Give me Andrews. We're definitely going to go with Andrews' side there, my man. Jeep guy says last day without football. Yes, sir, last day without football. I mean, I think we can be freaking pumped, right? I mean, this is exciting. Now, it's not exciting is seeing Najee Harris off the board at 46. Kind of needed some running back production here. Alexander Mattison goes, we're going to take Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I'm a big Hawkinson guy. I've been taking Hawkinson all offseason, not stopping anytime soon. Okay. Let's move this over. Chris says, hey man, 12-team PBR 1 flex. We have Lawrence, Gibbs, Connor, Diggs, Olave, Hawkinson, Cooper, Charbonnet, and Deontay on the bench. Thoughts and trades? One flex league, I think we can afford to make a move where we go out there and upgrade the flex. If we could trade Amari, maybe get Ridley in return, specifically because we have Lawrence, to go out there and get the stack, I think that would be very appealing, my friend. Okay. Now, Gabe Davis off 50. J.K. Dobbins goes 51. Yeah, this is a draft where, I mean, people are going and getting their guys here. People are not worried about ADP. Kevin, I'm assuming about to show us the craziest puppy team in the world. Says, Lamar, Chubb, Hunt, JT, Kamara, Olave, Watson, Sky, Komet. Okay. I like getting the value on Jonathan Taylor and chasing the elite level ceiling in weeks 15, 16, 17. But to parlay that with Alvin Kamara as well, it's going to be very difficult to overcome both players not playing at the beginning of the year, my man. Now, Burrow off the board at 55. Yeah, so you see the Chase team pass on Burrow for J.K. Dobbins. Very surprising in my mind. Cody says 12-team league. We have Daniel Jones, Gibbs, Walker, Jefferson, Ridley, Waller, Williams, JT on the bench. Should I trade Waller and Daniel Jones for Lawrence and Komet? No, my man, I want it. Knowing what we could get for Waller, knowing we could sell Waller for Hawkinson, I think it's too much. 20 says start one, McLaurin's out. Gabe, Gibson, Quentin Johnson, Dylan. We're going to go Gabe, but I'm going to operate on the assumption that Terry McLaurin is playing. Howard asks you, do you have an Underdog sign-up promo code? My man, I know you're trolling us, or most likely you're trolling us, but just in case you aren't, I'll be happy to tell you about it. Yes, we are drafted on Underdog Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same spot where you see all the pick'em lines in the videos. And if you want to get into an Underdog draft with us tonight, it's not too late. These are best ball drafts, no time commitment at all during the year. So I drafted 700 teams, $150,000 last year. If you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they're going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. Plus, we get our 2023 fantasy football rankings and a free trial to flockfantasy.com. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, now is the best time to get on Underdog because they have a site-wide special. Patrick Mahomes more than less than half a passing yard against the Lions week 1. You have a Flock exclusive special pick'em with Josh Allen more than less than half a passing yard against against the Jets on Monday night. And then also, if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen them have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you're taking advantage of that while y'all can. But let's go ahead. I wonder if that was a joke or I wonder if that was serious. I know Howard was out with us in the live stream earlier this morning, so he probably heard it 10 times. Okay. But our next question coming out from Mo says, would you start Devonta Smith or Amari? I know it's a tough matchup for Smith going up against the Pats. So if you look at our rankings for these guys, we do have them in a very similar range for this next week. I currently have Devonta Smith ranked as the wide receiver 15, and I have Amari Cooper ranked as the wide receiver 16. I mean, right now, if you look, their Underdog pick'em is both identical at 59.5 receiving yards for week 1. So I really think it's up to you. Like I said, I have him back-to-back, probably Smith. Lathan says, hey, Mason, 10-team league. Allen, Pollard, Sanders, Chase, Debo, Frymuth. Flex is London. And on the bench, we have Hall, JSN, Deontay, Addison, Mitchell. What are your thoughts? I think it's a team that has a lot of upside for the long term. Once we get either JSN or Addison breaking out, then I think we trade one of the wide receivers for a tight end upgrade from Frymuth. True Play says, if Christian Watson's out, are we going to go McKinnon, Deion Jackson, or Reed? We're going to go with Deion Jackson because the issue is Jarrett McKinnon's playing Thursday, so we're not going to have the clarity by the time we have to make that decision. Like, we won't know if Christian Watson's out or not. Okay. Godwin goes 69. Evans goes 67. I don't want to say what we're doing until we're actually on the clock. George Kittle has the same report that I've been working with my entire life. Remains limited by groin. I mean, this George Kittle report is literally the story of my life. Flowers off the board. James Cook goes. I think we are going to go ahead. We will take the values with George Pickens and George Kittle falling. I mean, we can go with the bully tight end strategy on Underdog Fantasy in particular. I mean, it is appealing to potentially go through and see if we can get in and maybe a stack with Dallas Goddard and Jalen Hurts. But high stakes, smaller field tournament, it's not going to be as important to go through and reach for those stacks. Okay. Now I got to tweet out the George Kittle thing. Y'all got to give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Pittman and Sutton both immediately off the board. So at this point, we are wanting to see running backs fall. And of course, in your regular redraft league, you're never going to go through and you're never going to have both George Kittle and Hawkinson on the same team. But in an Underdog best ball draft, you can get away with it. Okay, so Addison off the board, 78. Addison used to go a lot earlier in these underdog drafts, earlier this offseason, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't know. And we are 3 likes away from hitting 300 likes on this live stream. If you have not done so, make sure you go down there, drop a like on the stream, and help us out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Kyle Pitts off the board. We're definitely wanting to see tight ends go at this point, right? Okay. Lager Niners says 12-team app PPRs start 2. Addison at home versus Tampa. Pickens at home versus the 49ers. Jamal or Bateman. Really tough matchup for Pickens against the Niners. Going to be a low-scoring game overall, but we still have to go with Pickens and Jamal here. RG says, do you prioritize stacking over getting an all-star player in best ball? Example, every time I try to pair Brown and Hurts, someone picks up Hurts because I grabbed another play. It's obviously, a balance here between value and getting your stack. So for an example, like I do take George Kittle over Dallas Goedert, but it's because I have Kittle ahead of Goddard in the same tier. Ahead of them in tiers, right? So if they were in the same tier for me, like if it was like Kyle Pitts or Dallas Goedert, but I took Jalen Hurts, then I would go through and I would take Dallas Goedert over Kyle Pitts. And Sloan Dog says, Brian Robinson or Connor for a running back 2. I'm stuck. If it's a full PPR format, I think I go James Conner just because he's going to get the passing volume. Non-PPR, we probably go Brian Robinson, better environment. Tyler says 12-team PPR. We have Justin Herbert, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Saquon Barkley, James Cook, T.J. Hockenson, Deontay Johnson. Brandon Ayuk, Zach Charbonnet, Tyler Algier, Sean Tucker. How should we trade for RBs? We shouldn't. We wait until week 1. We get the sense of what the role is going to be for James Cook, what the role is going to be for Zach Charbonnet, and we reevaluate going into week 2, my friend. Yeah, I don't think you have to do anything right now. I think you have a team with a lot of upside. I think you're in a really good spot. Okay. Slayton says 12-team PPR redraft. Trade away Bijan for Etienne and Garrett Wilson. I have Bijan, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker, Keenan, Christian Watson, Pickens, Sky, and Kelsey. It's a fair price point. If it's a league with multiple flex spots, I think you have to do it. League with 1 flex, I'm always a little bit hesitant to tell someone to trade away the best player. But yeah, league with multiple flex spots, it's a must. Nathan says quarterback, we have Watson. Running back, we have Dobbins, Stevenson. Wide receiver, we have Kupp, Diggs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tight end, we have Higbee and Njoku. On the bench, we have Brian Robinson, London, Sanders, Ridley, Zach Charbonnet, 10-team PPR format. Great team. I'm completely fine rostering both those tight ends. The only thing is, if we do get Cooper Kupp back eventually, then at that point, I'd be looking to package together Dobbins and a depth wide receiver to get an upgrade at RB. But we're going to have to be kind of sitting on our hands until we get Kupp back, right? Okay. So the Cardinals are falling like a rock as they should be. Dobbs was announced the starter in Arizona. Brian Robinson off 94. Okay, we're going to go ahead and honestly, I know it's the grossest thing in the world. We will take Hollywood Brown and James Conner as like a wide receiver 5 and an RB, low-end RB3. It is going to be the nastiest offense ever in Arizona. And by no means do I want to do this. They're clearly tanking for Caleb Williams. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how bad the offense is. We're getting James Conner here at 97. I know we had a video earlier today saying to sell James Conner. But in regular ESPN drafts, you are seeing people go out there and rank James Conner way ahead of this. Now, our next question coming out from MCF, who says, Wilson, DJ, Watson, Allen, Hopkins. If Kupp goes on the IR, would you trade Allen and Hopkins for Cooper Kupp? Is that enough for a guy who has A.J. Brown, Kupp, Johnson? I don't even know if we give him that much, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need your help in the live chat right now. Please go to the chat. If you have Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to assume it's a one flex league. If Kupp goes on the IR, would you trade Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins for Cooper Kupp? Please let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We got no, yes, no, yes, 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 no. We got a hell yes, then a hell no. No, yes, no, yes. No, 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 no. Absolutely. Literally, absolutely not. Absolutely. This is so funny. You have no idea, my man. Yeah, I think it's a tough spot. I generally don't want to be. If we're trading for Kupp, we better be getting the best value ever, you know? We better be getting a massive, massive discount. Big Square says ETN or Walker as an RB2. I mean, I actually love both guys this week. I would go ETN ahead of him, though. Hendo says, with Watson's injuries, start Sky Moore or Sutton. We're going to go with Sutton, my friend. Dylan says, hey, Mason, kind of messed up on the draft, but what do you think? It's a 10-team PPR where we have Mahomes at quarterback. Running back, we have Gibbs, Walker, Dalvin, Khalil Herbert, Zach Charbonnet. Wide receiver, we have Adams, Hopkins, Mike Williams, Dotson, Juju, Chark. Tight end, we have Andrews. I don't think we have Mahomes, Andrews. We have running backs with upside. We have freaking Devontae Adams and Hopkins. My man, you are in a great spot. Yeah, 10-team league, I even like it. Yeah, good. I don't think we changed anything there. Rusty says, Pitts, Mixon, for Hawkinson or Ramondre, we have Chase. Well, my man, thank you for being a long time member of the vlog. See, we updated the profile pic. But here, yeah, I think we go Hawkinson or Ramondre. I mean, I'm just a freaking massive, massive hot guy. Walgers has traded James Cook, Darren Waller, Mike Evans for Kupp and Higbee. Hopefully he doesn't go on the IR, my man. If he goes on the IR, I don't like it. If he only misses a week, great deal. Joseph says, Pollard over Barkley Chubb. Crazy or not in a half PPR league. Dotson over Watson, even if he's listed good to go. All right, if you're saying as a starting lineup thing, full PPR, I think you could go Pollard over Chubb. Half PPR, I'd probably go Chubb. And then I think you go Dotson over Watson if McLaurin misses. Okay, let's swing this back around. We have Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Running back, we have Aaron Jones, James Conner. Wide receiver, we have Jefferson, Higgins, Pickens, and Hollywood. Okay, Jalen Warren off the board, 114. We clearly need help at running back, ladies and gentlemen. Mims off 116, Odell 117. It is a little crappy for us to see Cousins go whenever we're sitting here with Jefferson and Hawkinson. Cousins was our target here in best ball. What's the report on Dobbs? Won't practice Wednesday. Hopefully these guys are good. I mean, I want this Packers-Bears game to be good. Kincaid goes 118. So we will take Daniel Jones as a second quarterback here, and we'll just take an RB while we still can. I mean, the issue is now in underdog drafts, running backs are significantly harder to come by than they used to be. And obviously, you're not going to be drafting another quarterback when you have Jalen Hurts in your regular draft, but in a best ball draft on Underdog, you're going to have to take a second quarterback no matter what. So might as well get a guy that I like with some upside. Okay. We have some more wide receivers going off after we take P. Ryan. Good. We need running backs making them back. But Sam coming out says it's a super flex league where we have Lawrence, Barkley, Walker, Lamb, Olave, Goddard, Ridley, Javonte, Dillon, Addison, Charbonnet, a couple depth wide receivers, and Daniel Jones. If it is a 10-team super flex league with only one additional flex, actually, no, it's not a super flex league. Why the hell did I get that? It's just a one flex league. Very well-balanced team. Very well-balanced team. Love the Ridley, Lawrence stack. Ridley's in your flex spot. Great team overall. If it was a super flex format, I was definitely going to want to trade for a better QB2. Foster says, 10-team full BBR where we have Hurts, Jacobs, Mostert, Jefferson, Amari, Pitts, Christian Watson, Jay Williams. Everybody, please. If it's Jamal, let me know if it's Jamal. If it's Javonte, let me know if it's Javonte. If it's Jameson, let me know if it's Jameson. Sutton, London, P. Ryan. Any moves you should make feel like we're weak at running back. If it is Jamal or Javonte Williams, you're perfect. If it is Jameson Williams, then at that point, yes, we're going to have to go through and we're going to have to trade London and Jameson and get the best running back that we can. And honestly, if it's Jameson, I would just go out and cut him if we couldn't put him on the IR, if we couldn't get anything for him and trade. Now, Jaden coming out saying 10-team PBR where we have Hurts, Andrews, Jefferson, Keenan, Lockett, Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Najee, James Cook, Miles Sanders, Dylan, Elijah Mitchell, Chuba Hubbard, who to start at running back 2 and the flex. Okay. It's tough at running back. Najee is just such a brutal matchup. I do think we start Najee and Miles Sanders until we see what the role is for James Cook. And for the flex, we're going to go with the wide receiver. We're going to go Godwin, especially. We're going to go with Godwin over Lockett, especially that JSN's good to go. So start Jefferson, Keenan, and Godwin at the flex. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 like away from hitting 400 likes on this live stream. Please, if you have not done so already, drop a like on the stream. We have a live stream for like 32 hours over the past 4 days. And we will be live streaming every single day until 2024. So make sure you're subscribed if somehow you're not subscribed already. White boy, longtime member of the flock coming out says, hey Mason, trade Jacobs for Terry and Mixon. No. Happy BR, we have Olave, Ridley, Watson, Thielen, Addison, Cooks. Yeah, we definitely have more than enough wide receiver depth. We have running back depth as well. If not, who should I start at the third wide receiver spot? We're going to be starting Olave, Ridley, and then if Watson's good to go, we're going to go Watson. If Watson's not good to go, we're going to go Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I keep Jacobs. Jacobs definitely a tier ahead of Mixon. I don't want to make that move for McLaurin. I know McLaurin's playing, but we don't even know if he's 100%. Okay. Now we have a couple more quarterbacks off the board. Great for us to see QBs go, right? Colby says, Tony or Judy as my second flex. You're probably going to have to play Tony. I don't think Judy's good to go unless I'm mistaken. Unless I'm mistaken. Joshua says, I'm the Josh in the draft. First time with the 12th pick. Hell yeah. Let's go through and let's check out Josh's team. In here at 12 goes Barkley Wilson out the gate. Kind of gets a gift that Kupp goes ahead of him. Amari Walker, I actually kind of pissed that you sniped us on Walker, my man. McLaurin, JSN, great picks now that they're good to go week 1. Goddard, 84, phenomenal value. Watson, a stack with Amari, I love. Boyd, 108, in my mind, is definitely rich. I would prefer now with the running back landscape how it is to potentially go ahead and take like A.J. Dillon. But then like Dalton Schultz, Aaron Rodgers, great picks. The only one that I probably don't like is the Tyler Boyd selection. And I would have like a month ago. It's just harder to find running backs on Underdog now than it used to be. Okay. Logan says I traded Keenan, Dobbins, and Burrow for St. Brown, Richardson, and Pierce. Okay. Burrow to Richardson, downgrade. Dobbins to Pierce, upgrade. Keenan to St. Brown, upgrade. We have Chubb and Kupp in the lineup as well. I like it. I would like it more if I don't like it if it's a 6-point passing touchdown format. 6-point passing touchdown format, there's going to be a large gap between Burrow and Richardson. 4-point passing touchdown format, I think they're a lot closer and you're okay with it. Okay, we're getting a gift here that we can still take some running backs. We're going to go Damian Harris. And honestly, I'm going to go Ezekiel Elliott over these other guys. I think Zeke can have a role on a week-to-week basis, which is kind of something that we're needing at this point. So let's move this over. So now wide receiver, we have Jefferson, Higgins, Pickens, Hollywood. Quarterback, we have Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones. Running back, we have Aaron Jones, James Conner, Samaje Perine, Damian Harris, and Ezekiel Elliott. And tight end, we have Hawkinson and Kittle. Obviously, I want to reiterate, you're not taking 2 quarterbacks. You're not taking 2 tight ends in a regular fantasy football draft where you submit your starting lineup every single week. But in a best ball draft, we can get away with this. Okay. Not only can we get away with it, I think it's ideal as well. Okay. Miss Tasty coming out says 12-team full BBR. We have Burrow, Dalvin, Bijan, Diggs, Devonta Smith, Juwan Johnson, Jahan Dotson. And then on the bench, we have Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Burks, McLaurin, JSN, Everett. Any tips? I do think we start Dotson over McLaurin week 1 if we need to. Once JSN breaks out, then at that point, I think we trade for a better tight ends. But until then, I think we're chilling with the team. If we trade Devonta Smith for T. Higgins to stack with Joe Burrow, I'd like that. Brutus out again, says, need your opinion. Gonna submit some trade offers. Should I trade Andrews Godwin for Diggs Goddard? We have Allen at quarterback. Okay. Andrews Godwin for Diggs Goddard. Godwin Goddard, same tier for me. I definitely prefer Diggs over Andrews, especially if we have Josh Allen. Yes, I'd like that. No, definitely go plan A. Plan A. Do not trade Josh Allen for Lamar Jackson. Trade Andrews Godwin for Diggs Goddard and get the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen stack. Okay. Finn coming out says, not please, Falk. I hope you actually responded to this question because I've been waiting a couple days, no response. Bijan for Terry McLaurin. I don't know. Yeah, you got to be trolling me, right? We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Terry McLaurin, my man. Duh, of course. You know, I went to the University of Oklahoma. You know, I hate the Texas Longhorns. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Terry McLaurin there, my man. Just in case anybody knows, we do not do that, please. Hook 'em horns, go Bijan Robinson. But Cade coming out says, 12-team PPR format. We have Watson, Hall, Javonte, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, T.J. Hockenson, Amari. Bad running back depth. Do I leave it as is or consider a trade? I think we wait till after week 1, get the role of Javonte Williams and Breece Hall, see what that looks like. And then if we need a trade after then we can go ahead and look for something. But I'd rather sit with as is, my man. I'd rather sit as is. Lasagna Lover coming out says, super flex. We traded Tua, Ridley, Akers, Pitts for Watson, Amari, Montgomery, and a bad tight end. Who else do we have at tight end? Have Hurts, Watson, Brown, Amari, but not sure how to feel about the trade. Okay. Tua to Watson, clear upgrade. Ridley to Amari, lateral move, doesn't matter. Akers to Montgomery, lateral move, doesn't matter. So we traded Tua and Pitts for Watson. If we have another tight end that you're okay with, we're good. I understand we go out there and we do this to get the stack. I do like betting on the Deshaun Watson bounce back, but it seems like we did pay a lot. I would definitely say I don't like it in a one quarterback format. In a super flex league, though, I think it's okay. What are you doing? Said, what should I do with Christian Watson? I think you keep him, see what happens. I mean, he was out with a quote-unquote undisclosed. I mean, I have no idea if Christian Watson's going to play or not. If we have a better option, definitely put him in your starting lineup. But it's not like you're selling Christian Watson because he's not at practice. Okay. George coming out says, sorry if you answered this already, but what are your thoughts on Rashee Rice? I actually like Rashee Rice as a prospect and in Dynasty Fantasy Football. I think he's interesting, as well as in Underdog Fantasy Football drafts where you have to go super deep at wide receiver. I think he's interesting there as well. Now, the issue is if you're going to be in, say, a regular shallow redraft format, there it's going to be much harder to assume that Rashee Rice has the upside to actually move the needle for you. I don't mind rostering him because he plays on Thursday night. So if you want to roster him and see if he actually has a role week 1, sure. But the main issue is the reports coming out of training camp and the preseason are saying that right now he's just going to be a bench wide receiver and he's not going to have a role at the beginning of the season. If that's the case, really hard to roster him in like your regular redraft ESPN league. But we will go ahead and we will take a shot on a couple wide receivers here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean, Curtis Samuel would be appealing if it was a spot where we still had Terry McLaurin banged up, but it looks like McLaurin is going to be good to go. Okay, let's move this over. And we'll make 2 more picks in this league, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to bounce to another underdog draft, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Gumbo says, what is the worst bad beat in fantasy? Mine was losing because of a Bobby Rainey 36-point masterclass. Still traumatizes me to this day. Let me think. So the thing is, and I know this is going to sound like, it's just going to sound weird, But since 2014, I have played in 20 plus fantasy football leagues every single season at a minimum. I've been a dynasty fantasy football addict for 20 plus, in 20 plus leagues every single year. So I kind of play fantasy football in a little bit of a different way than a lot of other people. I know a lot of people like watch their matchup all Sunday, and I used to do that back when I was like 10, 11, 12, and it's a lot of fun, right? You go through the highs and the lows, but I watch mine as more like an overall portfolio, you know? So it's hard for me to remember like any super bad beats because, I don't really sit there and like look at one matchup nonstop, you know? It's more like the accumulation of the portfolio of teams that we have. Okay. Now, we are 3 likes away from hitting 500 likes on this live stream. I know you probably dropped a like in the live stream earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, but if somehow you have not done so already, please go down there, drop a like on this live stream, help us hit 500. Let's get to 1,000. Come on, what are we doing? We have 1,500 people out here. Let's get this bad boy to 1,000 likes. Okay. Now, Ryan says Mahomes, Etienne, Walker, Jefferson, Williams, Kirk, Andrews, Dobbins, Judy, Burks, Tank, P. Ryan, Osborne, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee. The elite quarterback, an elite tight end, a league with only one flex spot. I like this team. I'm fine rostering the depth wide receivers specifically because it's a format that we start 3 receivers as well. Okay. Chew Bubbard off the board 180. Darius Slayton goes 181. Okay. Swing this background. So now we have Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones at quarterback. Running back, we have Aaron Jones, James Conner, Samaje Perine, Damian Harris, Ezekiel Elliott. Wide receiver, we have Jefferson, Higgins, Pickens, Hollywood, Alec Pierce, DJ Chark. Tight end, we have Hawkinson and Kittle. So overwhelmingly weak at running back, strong everywhere else. So hopefully we find a running back that's at least interesting on the way back around here. Tago says, full BBR, would you trade Lockett for Deontay? I have JSN on the bench. Do you know what? Yes, I would. Now that JSN's good to go and it looks like JSN's playing week 1, I think we go ahead and we take Deontay over Lockett rest of season. Okay. Sean Tucker goes 184. Brock Purdy falling like a rock here. Justin Ross off 185. Not every draft you're going to see Justin Ross go ahead of Brock Purdy. I see a question at the bottom of the chat asking, what are the odds Justin Ross becomes a viable wide receiver? Hopefully not too high, my friend, because I have not drafted a lot of Justin Ross this year. Caden says, rate the team in a shallow 12-team BBR format where we have Fields, Pickens, Walker, Lamb, Ridley, Judy, Kittle, JSN, London, Penny, Zeke, Singletary, Jane Reed, Sean Tucker. I like that we're rostering the high upside running backs down there on the bench primarily. We have a great quarterback, great tight end. We have elite running backs, we have top wide receivers. Yeah, very well balanced roster. Great team top to bottom. I like what we're doing down there on the bench with running back upside shots. Knox goes 187. Chris Rodriguez off 188. Very interesting selection there. I like the name, deep football value. Hey, let me know in the live chat, ladies and gentlemen, is it gross when I sit here with floss? If this is gross, if it's grossing anybody out, let me know. I can put this up. So I can see how it would be gross. Clyde Edwards-Helaire off 190. Okay, looks like nobody's saying it's gross. Stafford goes, so we're going to go ahead. I guess we will take Miller. With Miller, running back that doesn't look like he's in a good spot dealing with a hamstring injury, but at the very minimum, we have P. Ryan for the role at the beginning of the season. We're looking for someone with high upside long term. I think we're actually going to take Devontae Parker as well. Reason being is Juju had the bad report regarding his knees. So maybe Parker gets a bump up. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's bounce into our next draft. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last day of us streaming drafts. So we probably are going to be getting into another $250 draft. But I want to reiterate, if you are going to be firing up any Underdog drafts tonight or tomorrow and you are new to Underdog Fantasy, do not get into $250 drafts. Just have some fun $5 drafts. No time commitment at all during the season. It's just fun drafts on the side. And let's go ahead and let's get in here. And there are 3 spots open in this draft, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, do not join a $250 draft. But if anybody else that's been here with us for a while wants to get in, we have 3 spots open in this $250 league. And Dylan says 12-team at PBR 3 wide receiver league. We have Hurts, Etienne, Gibbs, Kupp, Keenan, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Algier, Elijah Mitchell, Roshan Hyatt. What moves do we look to make? Don't roster Hyatt. There's really no upside for him to make a difference in your just regular 12-team shallow redraft format. On Kupp, Hyatt, go pick up another wide receiver or running back off the waiver wire. Love the elite level quarterback tight end stack we have with Hurts and Goddard. Yeah, I mean, go pick up Hyatt that could possibly, go pick up a wide receiver and drop Hyatt that could possibly do something early on, because the thing is, we're not looking for long-term upside at wide receiver. We're looking for someone that can help us out at the beginning of the season, considering the fact that we have Cooper Kupp. Caleb says trade Dak, Taylor, Kirk for Lamar. We like running backs, though. No, it's probably too much. Probably too much, my man. Lasagna says, Komet is my other tight end. Mr. Dodd wasn't on. Oh, my man, that's brutal. If he was on the waiver wire, obviously it would have been an easy deal. Would have been an easy deal. If you could have picked up Dodd off waivers, you would have been set at tight end. Now let's move this over. And at 5, I mean, Kupp may be in play at 20. It will be something that we have to think about. In the last draft, Cooper Kupp went off the board at pick 9, ladies and gentlemen. But let's see what happens here. 101 on the clock. Jefferson off the board. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I was looking down on my phone with the other draft that we were in. That's in round 18. And I saw Mac Hollins go and his picture went up. And for whatever reason, I thought Mac Hollins went at the 101 in this draft. And I was about to lose my mind. But we will go ahead and we will take Bijan Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. Hook 'em horns. You know, we're going to go out there and get the guy that we have rooted for since he was a Texas Longhorn, that we interviewed at the draft, that we met in real life at the gym. So yeah, we have to go through, we have to take our guy. But ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 like away from hitting 600 likes on this live stream. Please, if you have not done so already, go down there, drop a like on this stream, help us get to 600. And of course, if you want to get in our next draft tonight, we will be doing some $5 puppy drafts. And now is the best time to get on Underdog Fantasy. They have a Patrick Mahomes special pick'em, more than less than half a passing yard against the Detroit Lions on Thursday night. That's tomorrow. So make sure you take advantage of this ASAP. They have a Josh Allen special pick'em, more than less than half a passing yard for only people who use promo code FLOCK on Underdog. And then also, if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, get an additional mystery special pick'em on top of that. I've never seen Underdog do 2 pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So make sure you're taking advantage. Promo code FLOCK's going to give you all 3 of them, plus our 2023 fantasy football rankings, a 100% deposit match, and a free trial to flockfantasy.com. Jonathan says 12-team PBR league where we have Lawrence, Ridley, Keenan, Pickens, Chubb, Derrick Henry, bad tight end, Rashad White, Flowers, Brandon Cooks, Mims, Mostert, Kirk Cousins. We definitely want to be rostering 2 tight ends here. I'd say go ahead and drop Marvin Mims, or actually drop Raheem Mostert. I mean, if you have to have Mostert on your bench and not on your IR, I mean, it's going to be making life so hard for you off the waiver wire early in the season that I would drop Mostert. Actually, no, I'm an idiot. I was thinking Jeff Wilson. We're good with Mostert. Completely ignore me. Drop Marvin Mims. Go pick up a backup tight end. And honestly, with Mostert, I mean, if we have this much wide receiver production, I think we could afford to potentially package him together with George Pickens and go get an upgrade at wide receiver, my man. But Justin coming up says, what's up, Go? Just got offered Ramondre in a first next year for A.J. Brown. The roster is Adams, Amon-Ra, Christian Watson, Sutton. Brees makes, I'm going to assume that this is a dynasty format, of course. Both A.J. Brown and Raheem Mostert are contending assets. I would say if it looks like it's going to be a super flex early first-round pick in 2024, you can take the Ramondre side. If it's not going to be an early super flex first, then you keep A.J. Brown. Okay, so Cooper Kupp does not go in round 1 in this draft, ladies and gentlemen, as you should naturally expect. Let's see how far he does fall, though. Let's see how far Cooper Kupp does end up falling. Now, Steve says 12-team full PPR with 2 flex spots. We have Hurts, Brees, Madison, Rashad White, Charbonnet, Mostert, Bigsby, Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Kirk, Dotson, Juju, Juwan Johnson. Any ideas? Great team overall. I feel like we're very well balanced between running back and wide receiver, considering the fact this is a double flex league. We have a lot of running back depth. We don't have the top end production at RB, but we're more so going with running back quantity over quality. So yeah, I like the team in the long term. We have Mostert to play alongside Madison in the short term, and then we have Breece Hall expanding his role in the long term. I don't really think that we change anything there. Sorry, trying to figure out what we're doing in that other league. We'll take Tank Dell. Who cares? So Derrick Henry off the board at 17. Let's see if any of these teams decide to pull the trigger on Cooper Kupp, ladies and gentlemen. This team, round one, took Austin Eckler. Do they take Kupp? They go Waddle. This team, round one, took Diggs. Do they go Kupp? They go Olave. We're not going to take Kupp. I'm going to take Mahomes. We took Jalen Hurts in the last draft. We'll take Mahomes in this one. We'll go ahead and we'll just keep on mixing it up. And we did get good news with Travis Kelce earlier today. Sounds like at most he's probably only going to miss a game or two. So not too worried about Kelce. Justin says, I'm stuck on Uda flex between Amari, Mike, and Khalil Herbert. I'd start two. I'm going to go with both Amari and Mike Williams if it's a full PPR format. Not going to think much. Ryan says, full PPR thoughts on the team. I'm sorry, my man. I do not see a team with this. Allen says 12 team at PPR, 2 flexes. We have Allen, Barkley, Breece, A.J. Brown, Hopkins, Hogginson, Dalvin, JSN, Flowers, Bigsby, Algier, Reed, Spears, Roschon, with high upside bench. Which I'm completely fine with going through and taking a couple of those running backs that are an injury away to stepping into large roles. I mean, we do have so many freaking rookies on this team where we have JSN, Flowers, Bigsby, Reed, Spears, Roschon, where it's going to be very difficult for us to make moves at the beginning of the year because we are going to have to wait for a couple of these guys to break out. But if we get a couple breakouts here, I think you're going to be in a good spot. Okay. Okay, Josh Allen goes 25. Rob says, might have botched my super flex draft. Do I make trades or hold? We have Lamar and Fields. Okay, so we have 2 great quarterbacks. We have Hal as the 3rd guy. We have Mixon, Javonte, Breeze, Charbonnet, Olave, DJ London. I think we're good. If it's a 4-point passing touchdown format, I really like it. If it's a 4-point passing touchdown format where we went through prioritized quarterbacks, they don't have the rushing upside, that's great. 6-point passing touchdown format, I'd be a little bit more so worried just because I think some other people like Cousins would be able to actually catch up. So Kupp does go off the board at 26. If Kupp would have made it to us, we would have had a very tough decision to make. And I'm actually going to go Amari Cooper over DK Metcalf. You'll know earlier in the offseason, we actually had Amari ranked over Metcalf. Then there was the JSN injury, and I was like, okay, well, if JSN's injured, I will move Metcalf now over Amari. But no. I think now if JSN's back in, we're going to go back and take Amari. And if you were in your regular fantasy football draft and not in Underdog Best Ball draft where wide receivers are going to get pushed up, I would say you would want to go ahead and you would want to take DK Metcalf over. So you would want to go Mark Andrews over Amari Cooper in your regular league. But here, instead, we are going to go ahead and we're going to take the wide receiver because it's easier to find tight ends later on. Now, Stone Goat says Chase Mostert for Saquon Debo. 3 wide receiver double flex. Okay, in this format, especially if we have Kamara on the IR, I'm okay doing it. If it was a 1 flex league, I would say keep the best player, keep Jamar Chase. But in a league where it's 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes, where depth's going to matter a little bit more, we can make the move if we want. Pitcher Ended says, finish an 8-team standard draft. Hurts, beautiful. Eckler, Jacobs, love it. Devonta Smith stacked up with Hurts, the elite. This is exactly what we want in an 8-team league. 8-team league, you slam the elite quarterback, you get the elite tight end, you prioritize running backs, And then you're going to get wide receiver depth later on, so who the hell cares? Love this overall strategy in an 8-team format, my man. And Mustafa coming out says 10-team at PBR where we have Mahomes, Lamb, Ridley, London, Godwin, Judy, Bateman, Bajan, Pierce, Javonte, Pirine, Dion. Any suggestions? Kelsey for CD, Pierce, and Njoku. You can't do it. I understand the thought process here. We have Mahomes. It's a 10-team league. We want to go ahead and we want to get the elite level stud. If it was like Lamb and Njoku for Travis Kelsey in a one flex league, it would be okay. But if it's Lamb, Pierce, and David Njoku for Travis Kelsey, even with the good report that we got today, I think you're paying too much. Lee says, you're a beast, bro. Love how much you're live. No, thank you so much, my man, for hanging out with us. And we're going to be live every single day until 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy will not be missing a day. Now, Keenan Allen off the board at 38. Let's go ahead. Let's swing this back around. Skeezer says, trying to trade for Hurts and Saquon. Would Allen, Brees, and Swift be too much? Allen, Hurts, same guy, doesn't matter. Brees and Swift for Saquon. Give me Saquon. I'd love that. So trade Miles Sanders or Dobbins in some version of the same trade. Yeah, I would do that. I would do this deal with replacing Brees Hall with any of those running backs. If it was Allen, Sanders, and Swift, do it. Allen, Dobbins, and Swift, do it. Allen, Brees, and Swift, do it. Okay. Zonowitz says, do you think JT plays this year? Yes. I don't think it's a guarantee, but I think he has a chance to play this year. And I think it's over 50%. London off 42. All goes. So we actually get the guy we want. We get Najee Harris here, ladies and gentlemen. Like we said, running backs generally a little bit harder now to find in these underdog drafts than it used to be. So I'll be completely fine pulling the trigger on Najee Harris at 44. McKidd says Connor and Juju for Amari. Double flex league? Hell yeah, let's do it. I mean, if you're, especially with this roster where we have the depth overall, I mean, the thing is, if you are going to be looking at Juju Smith-Schuster, I mean, they're coming out and they're saying that he's, I mean, an injury away, I mean, a play away from being out for the year. The exact report was like his knee could blow up at any time. I have no idea what the hell that's about. Connor's in the worst offense in the NFL. I literally just took him around 9. Let's go ahead and do it. Easy Eddie says, hey Mason, 12-team double point PPR where we have 2 flexes. My wide receivers are Kupp, Deontay, Dotson, Sky, JSN. Should we trade Kupp for Devonta Smith? Roster is Allen, Jacobs, Ramondre, P. Ryan, James Cook, Roshan. I'm interested in it because it's a league where you have 2 flex spots. Can y'all please spam the chat with this team here? Would you rather have Devonta Smith or Cooper Kupp? Please let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Devonta Smith or Cooper Kupp. In the draft that we are in right now, my man, Smith did go ahead of Kupp. Smith, Kupp, Smith, Smith. Smith, 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 Kupp. Kupp, Kupp, Smith. Smith, Kupp, Smith, Kupp, Smith, Kupp. Kupp, Smith, Kupp. It literally looks like it's 50-50. One flex, I think it's easy just to go and take Kupp, take the upside. Double flex is going to be a little bit harder. We will go ahead. We'll just get my guy. I'm going to continue to draft him everywhere. And I'll reiterate, if you have Darren Waller and you could trade him for Hawkinson, please do it. Hawkinson was the tight end 3 last year from a points per game perspective, and the man is just now stepping into his prime. Be very happy to go through and get him. Okay. Now, Blake says, double flex league. Herbert, Bijan, Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Dylan, Devon A-Chain, Roshan, Tyler Algier. Wide receiver, we have Wilson, Williams, Judy, Dotson, Pierce, Mims. Tight end, we have Andrews. What are your thoughts? We have the elite level quarterback, the elite level tight end. We have our quarterback stacked with Williams. We are well balanced between the running back and wide receiver position at the top with Bijan versus Garrett Wilson. Great team. Double flex format. I'm even fine having the wide receiver depth when we're waiting for Jerry Jeudy to come back. When Jeudy is back, at that point, we probably let go of Alec Pierce. Great team. B. Morales says, 10-team at BBR double flex league. We have Fields, Henry, James Cook, Tyreek, Olave, Njoku, DK, Metcalf. I'm sorry, DK, Mike Williams. I'm an idiot. Bench is Kamara, Elijah Mitchell, Charbonnet, Drake London, Jordan Addison. Any moves? Once Kamara comes back and we have a little bit more overall depth, especially if Addison's looking like he's breaking out, I'd love to take Drake London and package him with David Njoku to get an elite level tight end. But until then, we're going to be waiting until we get Alvin Kamara back. J-Funks is Swift or Sky more in the flex. I'm going to go Swift, but I'm stupid. Austin says, 10-team at BBR, we have Herbert, Eckler, Gibbs, Wilson, Olave, Waller, Pierce. The bench is Pickens, Swift, Johnston, Jamal, Juju, and Chark. Any moves? I probably don't want to be rostering this many wide receivers in a league where it's a 10-team league with only one flex. I'd probably drop like DJ Chark and pick up a running back off the waiver wire. And another thing is, if you're not starting Jamal Williams now, when it's the perfect situation for him where Kondre Miller's injured and Alvin Kamara is suspended, then we just don't need Jamal Williams on our team. And I'd love to package him with another wide receiver in the starting lineup to get an upgrade if we can go send him to like the team that drafted Alvin Kamara or Jonathan Taylor. Griffin says, what are your thoughts of the future of the Colts running backs? I think most likely Jonathan Taylor comes back at some point. And in reality, I think it's going to be very hard to start any Colts running back in the short term. I mean, especially when we have no idea who the guy's going to be. Okay. Swing this back around. And we are one like away from hitting 700 likes on this stream, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you haven't done so already, go down there, drop a like on this live stream for us, help us out. And of course, if you want to get in our next draft, we're going to fire up a couple $5 drafts after this. It's not too late to get on Underdog. And these are best ball drafts, so no time commitment at all during the season. So I drafted 700 teams, $150,000 last year. And also now is the perfect time to get on Underdog because they have a site-wide special. Patrick Mahomes more than less than half a passing yard against the Lions tomorrow night. A Flock exclusive special. Josh Allen more than less than half a passing yard against the Jets on Monday night. And if you are new to Underdog, you get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog do 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you're taking advantage of that while you still can. So the report on Judy is he's limited in practice. If Judy's at practice in any capacity, I will go ahead. I'll pull the trigger on Jerry Judy at pick 68. We only have one wide receiver with Amari Cooper. And yeah, let's keep a well-balanced team. Quarterback, we have Mahomes. Running back, we have Bijan Najee. Wide receiver, we have Amari and Judy. And tight end, we now have TJ Hawkinson. And I don't know if we said this, promo code FLOCK's also going to get 100% deposit match on Underdog and our 2023 rankings and a free trial to flockfantasy.com. Okay. Dipster says full BBR 8-team league with only 2 flexes. We have Watson, Pollard, Hall, Jefferson, Lamb, Ridley, Watson, Waller, Herbert, Deontay, Elijah Moore, Sky, Judy. 8-team league, you can't be rostering this many wide receivers. Go through and see if we can package together Deontay Johnson and Breece Hall and go get a running back upgrade. Go package together Deontay Johnson and Khalil Herbert and go get a running back upgrade. 8-team league, wide receiver depth's not going to matter that much. Even in a league with 2 flex spots, we're just rostering way too many of them there, my man. Fungly says 10-team PBR, 1 flex. We have Watson, Connor, Etienne, Jefferson, Olave, Komet, Wilson. Should we trade or hold? If we have Stevenson on the bench, I feel like, 1, put Stevenson in the lineup over Connor. 2, see if we can trade Connor and Komet and go get a tight end upgrade. And 3, you're good outside of that. Chris says, who do you think I can trade Alexander Madison for? We have Jacobs and Taylor. My wide receivers are Chase Lamb, Devonta Smith, Mike Evans. If you wanted to sell Alexander Madison, I would love to get to like the ETN tier. If we could go like Alexander Madison and Mike Evans to get to Travis Etienne or Jahmyr Gibbs, I'd really like that. Okay. Montgomery off the board, 74. See what this team does. This is Waffle Taco. We've been in a lot of drafts with Waffle Taco. They go Javonte. Javonte was actually going to be our pick, but we'll go ahead. We'll pivot over to Jordan Addison. Now, I will say Akers is a running back that used to go earlier than this in drafts, but the Kupp injury is actively bad for Cam Akers. It makes it where the Rams are less likely to be competitive, are more likely to just kind of shut it down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be taking Akers with the Kupp news. Kevin says, how BBR where we start 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes. Watson, Bijan, Jacobs, Deontay Dotson, Sutton, Hawkinson, Najee, Brian Robinson. Was offered Devonta James Cook for Jacobs and Dotson. Hell no, we're going to keep Jacobs and Dotson. If you really wanted to make this deal, you could sell Josh Jacobs for Devonta Smith and James Cook. And that, I don't even know if we would do that. But if you really wanted to, because it's a league where you start 3 wide receivers and 2 flex, maybe you can. Norris says Hollywood or Van. I'm not excited about it, but if Hollywood's good to go, you go Hollywood. Mustafa says it's actually Kelsey and JT for Pierce, Njoku, and Lamb. Oh, okay. If we can get by with no JT, I think it makes sense then. Because that's the super shallow format where we had Mahomes. Super shallow format, though. Okay. Let's move this over. Brandon Cooks off the board. 80. K-Makers did end up going at 79 here, ladies and gentlemen. Pacheco goes 81. Back 40 says, rate the team. We have Fields, St. Brown, Diggs, Barkley, Pollard, Adams, and Dotson in the flex. 10-team format. I mean, come on, man. You have like 5 picks that go inside the first 2 rounds. Dominant team. 10 out of 10. That's nuts. Anthony says 12-team full BBR where we have Herbert, Bijan, Brees, Amon-Ra, Higgins, London. And then on the bench, we have Mostert, Gibson, Addison, Elijah Moore, Charbonnet. What do you think? Great team. Play Mostert over Drake London week 1. We have a lot of long-term upside with the rookies down on the bench. Great team. Just go ahead and put Mostert over London in the flex. My kid says, I meant James Conner and Juwan Johnson for Amari. We can do that if you want. Zach says, I've been offered Chase. Would be giving up Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore. I have Devonta Smith. If it's a 1 flex league, yes, go ahead and do it. I mean, just get the best player in the deal, especially this time of the year where we want to open up roster spot. That way we can make moves on the waiver wire. Okay. So let's move this over. We haven't been able to hit y'all with the do in a while. Okay, what are these teams doing after? I mean, kind of good for us to see Deshaun Watson off the board, right? Cube says, Dynasty Startup 12-team league. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Bijan a lot. Oh, my gosh. One quarterback format where we have Bijan, Olave, Gibbs. That's like 3 first-round starter picks. And a 1 QB league, that is. London, Amari, Watson, Godwin, Laporta, Javonte, Young, Dulcich, Knox, McKinnon, Roshan. This is it. No, you did not draft 2 young. You drafted young players that are going to produce this year. If you were to go through and try to draft the dynasty team in like June when everybody's thinking long-term, there's no way in hell you could get this much value. I understand that we punt tight end, but we have 3 guys that could be viable, so we can go through and play the matchups and hopefully have one of them hit. No, great team, my man. That is, you can still be competitive with how young we are there. I don't know what to say. We will take James Conner. Y'all know what I've been saying is to go through and potentially try to sell James Conner if you can. But here, Conner is the guy falling. He falls 10 picks past ADP. Should fall. And I know in the majority of y'all's drafts, James Conner went in like round 4, went in round 5. And there you 100% sell Conner if you can get that kind of price tag. You probably should not have drafted him there. The Cardinals are punting. The Cardinals are horrible. James Conner 92 is a little bit of a different story. It's a little bit of a different price tag. We're getting him after Quentin Johnston, Cortland Sutton, and Elijah Moore. I feel like we maybe have to take him. Isaiah says, should I trade Pollard and Amari for Adams? No. Keep Pollard and Amari. Angel says, my first ever draft, any moves. 12-team BBR. We have Herbert, Bijan, Javonte, Ridley, Kupp, Ertz, McLaurin, Hall, Dotson, Mooney, Zach Moss, DJ Chark, Jonathan. If it's a one flex league, we just need to stay alive for the beginning portion of the season and we may be okay. The issue is if it is a multi-flex league, we're just not going to have the depth to get by whenever we take both Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp on the same team. I'm completely fine taking a shot on one of these players and saying that one of these players will give us a discount in a draft and an elite level ceiling later on. But to have both of them on the same team, it is going to be extremely difficult to remain competitive, particularly at the beginning of the season. So if it's a multi-flex league, I would actually look to sell low on Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor. Like someone in the live stream earlier today sold Cooper Kupp for Devonta Smith. If it's a multi-flex league, I'd look to go ahead and make that same deal. The kid says, would you rather have Sanders or Connor? I would rather have Miles Sanders over James Conner, even though we just took James Conner. Imranuf says, hey, Mason, sleeper app Superflex with 3 wide receivers. We have Lamar, Etienne, James Cook, Lamb, Adams, Hawkinson, London, Howard. On the bench, we have JT, Mike Williams, Michael Thomas, Penny, Hunt, Moss, and Mims. Can everybody please let me know in the live chat, who is Howard? I've been live literally nonstop. My brain is melting. I'm sure this is an obvious thing. I am looking at the chat on my phone right now. We got somebody saying it's Dwight Howard. Who is Howard? I'm assuming it's supposed to be a quarterback. Anthony says OJ Howard. Yeah, that was my initial thought as well, but it's not OJ Howard. Yeah. And please let me know who Howard is. If Howard's like, Danny says auto-correct Herbert. It probably is auto-corrected Herbert. It's where the Superflex would be. If this is auto-corrected Herbert, you're in a phenomenal spot. We have elite level wide receiver production, 2 elite level quarterbacks to play every single week. And honestly, it's one of the best Superflex teams I've seen in a long time. If it is Sam Howell, which is a possibility as well, I would be a little bit more nervous. We still have the top end wide receiver production. We still have Lamar. If Howard, like we said, is Herbert, 10 out of 10. If it's Howell, 6 out of 10. Probably 7 out of 10. Rob says Lamar and Flowers for Chase and Carr in a Superflex format. I'm not in Superflex. One quarterback, hell yeah. One quarterback, not even thinking about it. Superflex, no. Okay, Rodgers goes 111. I mean, it's okay for us to see these quarterbacks go whenever we took Mahomes, right? Like, get these quarterbacks off the board. Okay. Raheem Mostert off 112. So out running back, we have Bijan, Najee, James Conner. This is another disgusting team where we took Hollywood as well. We took Hollywood 101. We took him as a wide receiver 5. Zach Charbonnet off 113. Gino goes. Romeo Doubs off the board. I guess we'll take Jalen Warren. We'll monopolize the entire backfield in Pittsburgh. We do have Najee Harris. In a super large field underdog tournament, not too appealing. In a high-stakes, smaller field, it is something we can look to do. Okay. Zay says 10-team at PBR starters are Mahomes, Dobbins, White, Diggs, Kupp, Keenan, Ingram. And then on the bench, we have Watson, Swift, Jahan, Higbee. Got out for Mahomes and Jahan Dotson for Cook, Tua, and Olave. I'd rather have the Mahomes side, especially in a 10-team league. Just get the best player. Mahomes is the best guy. I mean, it looks like Kelsey's not going to be dealing with too serious of an injury. It looks like Kelsey maybe only misses a week most. Griffin says Juju, Moore, Lazard, Flowers, or Tony for the 2 flexes. I think we go Moore, whether that's Sky Moore or DJ Moore. We'll play Moore. And then I think we probably go Juju as well, just because he has the guaranteed targets, right? Alexis says, a full BBR, double flex. We have Khalil Herbert, Jahan Dotson, Sanders, Brees, and Sky Moore. For the 2 flex spots, we're going to be going Miles, Sanders, and Khalil Herbert if McLaurin plays, which it looks like will happen. If McLaurin doesn't, Dotson. Derek says 12-person PBR where we have Bijan, Pollard, Gibbs, Taylor, Mitchell, Ridley, Pittman, Addison, Thomas, Jefferson. Looking for a better wide receiver. What are your thoughts? I think we need to wait till week 1, see what happens with Michael Pittman. Maybe this offense is good enough. And then after week 1, then at that point, I think we have a much better idea. But I don't want to be making a deal for like a team need here. That's not a roster construction thing before the season starts when maybe one of those wide receivers exceeds expectations, right? I mean, we'll have way, way more information at our disposal then. Okay, Juju goes 121. P. Ryan goes 123. So we could take another running back here, not have to take one through the rest of this draft, or we could go with the tight end, not have to take another one through the rest. Since Kincaid does share the same buy, I probably am going to pass on Kincaid here. We'll go ahead. We will take Jamal Williams, at least lock in some great production at the beginning of the season. Obviously, long-term upsides may be a little bit at question, but with the Miller injury, I think Jamal's in a really good spot. Let's move this over. And ladies and gentlemen, we are closing in on 800 likes on this stream. Please, if you have not done so already, go down there, drop a like on this live stream. Help us out. And of course, if you want to go through and hop into a draft with us later tonight, we're going to be getting in more $5 drafts on Underdog. It's not too late to fire up some of these best ball drafts if you want to. I'd say now is the best time to get on Underdog. These are best ball, no time commitment during the year. So I drafted 700 teams, won 150,000 on Underdog last season. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you have a site-wide special. Patrick Mahomes more than less than half a total yard against the Detroit Lions tomorrow night. You have Josh Allen, a flock exclusive special, more than less than half a passing yard against the Jets on Monday night. And if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog do 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you're taking advantage of that ASAP. Now's the time to do so you can get all 3 of them and not miss the Mahomes one. Now let's go ahead and let's get this moved over here. And JB says, 10 team, 1 flex. I have a solid team. Should we trade Lawrence and Pollard for Jalen and Connor? No, you can't do it, my man. We have Jacobs, Kamara. If we can go through and instead trade like Kamara, then hell yeah, but not Pollard. James Conner's just not interesting at all. Like you saw in this draft, the Cardinals are so bad. I just got Hollywood Brown as a wide receiver 5, and James Conner is like a low-end RB3. Roman says 10 team, double flex, happy BR. We have Allen, Swift, Jamal, Diggs, Wilson, Ingram, Pickens, Montgomery. And then on the bench, we have Kamara, Kupp, Boyd, Devon Achane, Deion Jackson, Sky Moore. What should I look to do? Nothing for now. For now, we're going to be waiting until we get one of Kamara, Kupp back. Once that does happen, then at that point, we can reevaluate and potentially make a trade to upgrade the running back position. Until then, it's going to be very difficult to do something like that, my man. It is super nice having Jamal Williams on the team to cover us at the beginning of the season. That is something we really need. Okay. Jameson off the board at 134. Zeke goes 135. So, I mean, we have 5 running backs and only 4 wide receivers here, and we did wait pretty while. I mean, wait a while for our wide receivers. Generally, like I've been saying, these underdog values are harder to find late rounds now in underdog drafts than they used to be, which is why I was willing to go a little bit more running back heavy earlier. Damian Harris goes 137. Interesting spot. If Laporta makes it to us, do we take Sam Laporta? The issue is if we take Laporta, I feel like we may need to take another tight end later on. Tyler Algier goes. So the running backs are just kind of being wiped. Makes me feel good about our decision to go Jamal Williams where we did. Sam Laporta goes. What's the report on Thielen? Is he good? Ankleish. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, he was at least at practice, limited in practice. So we'll go ahead and we will take Adam Thielen here at 140. We'll potentially set up a Bryce Young selection for us later on as well. MVS goes 142. I wanted to get a little greedy and see if MVS would have made it back around to us. Okay. Gainwell goes 143. David says 8-team league. Should I try to trade Andrews for A.J. Brown? We currently are sitting with Andrews in the starting lineup with Kelsey. And then a wide receiver, we have Kupp and Evans. Hell yes, my man. Especially if we have Kupp and Kelsey. Makes so much sense to trade Andrews for A.J. Brown. Like, that would be the perfect move for that team. Okay, Sam Howell off the board, 144. We still need to grab another quarterback here, ladies and gentlemen. Singletary off the board. Roschon's like the last running back in this tier. Does look like Roschon's definitely submitted himself over Deontay Johnson. Rashee Rice goes. It would have been nice to have Rashee Rice making it back to us with Mahomes. I actually thought it was going to happen. I guess it doesn't. So maybe now we're going to end up having to take Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney has been plummeting down these boards as of late. I mean, this is not the first time over the past few weeks that we've gotten Darnell Mooney here as like a wide receiver 6. Move this over to Love goes as well as Russell Wilson. Michael says 10-team PBR 1 flex where we have Watson, Bijan, Hall, Swift, Mitchell, Devon Achane, Charbonnet, Diggs, Waddle, Olave, McLaurin, Addison. Any moves? Thinking McLaurin, Watson / Hall for a quarterback / running back. I actually don't mind this idea now that it looks like Terry McLaurin is going to go week 1. I mean, I think that we'll be able to extract a little more value for Terry McLaurin than we would have been able to do previously. It's a 10-team league with only 1 flex. I mean, so ultimately we are incentivized to go out there and get the elite 1 seed position. So yeah, I think actually that makes a lot of sense. Now, Who Cares says, please help me. Cousins or Gino? We're going to go Cousins, my man. Aaron Jones, Rashad White, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, James Cook, Keenan, or Dotson in a non-PPR format. Okay, non-PPR league. Okay, so definitely we're going to rank it Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 2 wide receivers. Top 2 running backs will be Aaron Jones and James Cook. And then for the flex in a non-PPR format, he's less appealing, but we still will go Keenan Allen. I mean, it should be a very high-scoring game that you have overall with the Chargers and Dolphins. Cam coming out says 12-team PPR, double wide receiver 1 flex. We have Tua, Anthony Richardson at quarterback. Wide receiver, we have Tyreek, Olave, Watson, Judy. Running back, Jacobs, JT, Rashad White, Devon Achane. Tight end, we have Hawkinson. Should we bank on JT as a running back 2 for the playoffs or upgrade Rashad White? Should we also look to get an elite level quarterback? These are some things that we could afford once Jonathan Taylor is back. But honestly, with the lack of depth that we have as of now, I think that we just play Rashad White for the time being. We really need Judy back as well. I really do appreciate the support, my man. But in general, I think you're set up in a very nice way at the moment. We have Tua stacked with Tyreek. We have the long-term upside of Anthony Richardson as well. So I think it actually makes a little bit more sense for you to sit on your hands and see what happens later in the season. See what happens, and we'll reevaluate once we get Judy back in, once we get JT coming up closer, and at the same time, once we see what we have with those other, guys at quarterback, like Anthony Richardson. Is Richardson maybe good to go for you, my man? Extravagant Demand says, are you starting Brian Robinson over Cam Akers? Hell yes. And could you please do a video on top defenses next year? I have the Browns. I'm super sorry, my man. I literally would not be able to help at all. I mean, if I came out here and tried to talk defenses with you, I would be talking out of my butt. I would be embarrassing myself. And I wouldn't be a help to anybody if I'm going to be completely honest. So yeah, I am very sorry, my man. I am not going to be able to go through and talk defenses. But we will go Brian Robinson over Cam Akers. Cam Akers going to be in a horrendous offense this next year. Okay. We're going to go Ferguson here. Tough spot. We just need a tight end, right? I think you can make an argument for a couple different guys. Matt says 10-team, full BBR, 1 flex. Where should we upgrade? We have Mahomes, CMC, Pollard, Olave, Amari, Schultz, Madison, Terry, Kirk, Johnson, Judy, Dalvin, Nico Collins, and Greg Dole. So we have the elite running backs. We have the elite quarterback. We have the depth as well. Specifically because it's a 10-team league with 1 flex where we have this kind of depth, I definitely think we should upgrade at tight end. Like if we can take Terry McLaurin and Dalton Schultz and go get like Dallas Goedert, go get Kyle Pitts, go get George Kittle, go get Darren Waller, go get TJ Hawkinson. They make a ton of sense. Alex is like how that? My man, that is obnoxious. Kupp round 3 is understandable, but Adams and Chase on the same team is beautiful. Devin says 12-team, have BBR, 5 bench spots. Kelsey, my only tight end. The bench is Lazard, Kamara, Dobbs, Richardson, Warren. Who do I drop for this week? Oh, dear God. We probably end up having to drop Alan Lazard. I think Lazard's the guy that is least likely to have your league mates run out there and go pick him up immediately once we do it. Trey says start Kelsey or Pitts this week. If Kelsey's good to go, you go Kelsey. Justin says JT in London for Devonta Smith. What can I get for him? This is so dependent on your roster. It's so dependent on your league settings as well. I'd say most likely go JT in London, but I could see some worlds where Smith makes sense there. Okay. Then Francis says, with last pick, I got Bijan, Chubb, Amari, Lamar, Kittle, Akers, Gabe, Hollywood, JSN, Flowers. What are your thoughts? And who would you flex, my guy? No, my man, thank you so much. So running back, Bijan, Chubb. Receiver, we're going to go Amari and Gabe, to be honest with you. Flex, I'm probably going to go Akers. It's a great team. I mean, the issue is it just looks like Hollywood's not startable. Not with how bad the offense is, not with the report that he's dealing with the hamstring as well. Would be nice if we get a better flex. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully the Cardinals aren't like just the worst thing that the world's ever seen. And hopefully you do get some starts out of them. We're going to go Alec Pierce here, 173. And who cares? This bench is Tajee, Tugger, Ferguson, Chark, Hubbard. Should I drop any of these guys for Mims, Mingo, Ty Chandler, Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Lastly, do I start Goddard or Ferguson? Definitely going to go Goddard, even in a non-PBR format, my man. And if we were going to be looking at dropping any of these players, I think DJ Chark and Sean Tucker would be the drops. I would rather have Ty Chandler over Sean Tucker. And I would rather have Marvin Mims over DJ Chark, given the overall upside of the players. Because down there at the bottom of the bench, really the only thing we're caring about is the ultimate upside. Now, Riz has got Bijan and Amon-Ra and JSN, gave Chase, Pierce, Hollywood. Great deal. Phenomenal, phenomenal trade, my man. Lake says start 2, Watson, London, JSN, Bateman, Judy. We're going to go Watson and London. Jackson says 12-team double flex, Happy BR, Watson, Chubb, Pierce, Wilson, DK, Kincaid, Connor, Kirk. And then on the bench, we have CEH, Bigsby, Miller, Collins, Dotson, Flowers. What to do? Double flex league, I think we actually sit as is. I would really like to roster another tight end. However, if Dalton Kincaid is our first guy, I like the long-term upside of Kincaid. I just don't know if he's startable at the beginning of the year. So I would drop Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'd pick up another tight end off the waiver wire. And then honestly, I think Dotson is in play for you over Connor week 1 if McLaurin doesn't play, but it does look like McLaurin may play week 1. Ollie out again. So say Mason, hope you're doing good. 12-team PPR double flex, no tight end. Lamar, Barkley, Dobbins, Diggs, DJ Andrews. So we have the Lamar Andrews stack. Sutton, Pittman, Nico Collins, Elijah Moore, Algier, Damian Harris. Any suggestions or trades to make? I guess actually we don't have a tight end, so the Andrews stack's way less appealing. But I mean, we still have Lamar we still have Lamar, Diggs, Barkley, who we love to see. I hate to say this. If we could trade Andrews for like a T. Higgins level player, Devonta Smith level player, Amari Cooper level player, even with the Lamar stack, I do it in a league where you don't have to start a tight end. I definitely like building around some of the wide receiver depth here with DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, because it's a 12-team full BBR format with double flexes. We don't have a backup quarterback. We have some high upside running backs down there on the bench. Great team, but it's just so hard to like say like you're excited about Andrews in a league where you don't have to start a tight end, because if you look at the raw points per game that you're getting at the position compared to elsewhere. Let's move this over, ladies and gentlemen. And we are looking for another quarterback, another tight end. And then the last spot, I think we're a little bit flexible. We can go with whatever we want. Probably another wide receiver. Okay. Justin Ross off the board at 184. And we're going to be opting into another draft after this one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make our next pick, and then I'm going to immediately hop into another draft. Edwards goes 185. So the report was Chark is, what was it again? Doesn't practice, blah, blah, blah. God dang. Yeah, we definitely need another wide receiver with this. I think we're going to go one more wide receiver, one more quarterback, and one more tight end. Renfro goes 186. Parker off the board. We're going to go Stafford as our second QB. And we're going to go ahead and hop into another draft, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting in another Big Dog 3 draft. Like I said, I won the Big Dog tournament on Underdog last year for $100,000. It's a $250 draft. Highly recommend you stay away from a $250 draft if you are new to Underdog Fantasy. If you want to get in some of these best ball drafts last minute and just have some extra fun, no time commitment during the year. So I drafted 700 teams with $150,000 last season. I highly recommend you doing that in the puppy tournament on Underdog. That is the $5 tournament on Underdog Fantasy right now. Of course, that is if you are new to Underdog Fantasy. If you want to get in a $250 draft with us on Underdog and you've done a million of these before and you know what you're doing, then feel welcome to come out here and hop in with us. There's one spot left in this draft, ladies and gentlemen. And Sebastian says, 10-team league with 2 flexes. We have Allen, Henry, Walker, Montgomery, Mostert, Algier, Tyreek, AJ, D. Oh, great team. Great team. The only thing I'd say is when we have this kind of depth and we're not having to deal with any injuries at the moment, if we could trade Raheem Mostert and like Terry McLaurin and go get a long-term wide receiver upgrade, I think that'd be interesting. There'd be teams that'd be willing to pay for it. Okay, we're at pick 3, so we're going to go ahead. We are most likely going to get CMC here, ladies and gentlemen, unless someone else passes on Jefferson or Chase to give us McCaffrey. Let's move this over. And Poochie coming out says, 8-team full BBR league with my best friends. No defense kicker. We can start up the 5 wide receivers. We have Fields, Bijan, JT, Jamar, Waddle, Moore, Pitts, Najee, Watson. And then on the bench, we have Ayuk, Gibson, Van Jefferson, Charbonnet, James Cook. Actually, I think this is a really solid build specifically for an 8-team league, because in an 8-team league, you're able to go through and you're able to roster a running back like Jonathan Taylor, saying, okay, well, yeah, we understand that we're probably not going to get anything in the short term, but at the end of the day, this is someone that, I mean, has a lot of upside in the long term. And if it is an 8-team league, then you're in a good spot because we don't need the floor in the short term. So it's like a spot where it actually makes sense. Now, Avinash coming out says, hey, Mason, 10-team at PBR. We have Watson, A.J. Brown, Olave, Watson again, Judy, Dotson, Ramondre, Walker, Sanders, Hall, Kelsey. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Having Kelsey at tight end here, I mean, completes it. I mean, if we're going to submit a starting lineup, we're going to go A.J. Brown and Chris Olave. Running back, we're going to be going with Ramondre and Walker. Flex, we're going to go Sanders. Great team, top to bottom. If we could trade Christian Watson in a small piece and go out there and go get Amari Cooper to stack with Deshaun, that makes sense. We're going to go ahead. We will take Chase here. Very rarely are you going to get Chase at 3. Very rarely you're going to see Tyreek Hill go ahead of Jamar Chase. I actually have not drafted a ton of Chase this year, but generally it's because I just haven't had a lot of picks at 2. And sometimes when I've had a pick at 2, we've ended up actually getting a very exciting selection of Justin Jefferson sometimes falling. A.J. Brown goes off the board here at 4, ladies and gentlemen. This is a $250 draft, and this is off the rails already. Tyreek ahead of Chase, AJ ahead of CMC. Avinash says, say based on 10-team at BBR, where we have Watson, AJ Brown, Olave. No, I'm sorry, we already answered this one. Let's go ahead and let's look at our next one. Gemini Bandit coming out says 10-team BBR format, where we have Hurts, Bijan, Pollard, Gibbs, Walker, Dobbins, Charbonnet, Godwin, Ayuk, Sky Moore, JSN, Burks, Jameson, Higbee. Took best player available, any moves, or wait. Cut Jameson Williams. I mean, you will be able to go through. You'll be able to find someone off the waiver wire at running back that possibly has a little more upside and makes life easier on the waiver wire at the beginning of the season. I mean, it's actually a nice spot to have Higbee as of now because the injury that we have with Cooper Kupp and in his expanded target share. But it's not that. Great team. Great team with a lot of upside, especially at running back. Okay. If you guys says, where do I find the Underdog special? They're going to be on the Pick'em on Underdog Fantasy, my friend. And yeah, of course, if y'all want to get into one of these Underdog drafts with us on Underdog, not too late. We'll be firing up a couple $5 drafts after this on Underdog, ladies and gentlemen. But these are best ball drafts, so no time commitment at all during the season. So I drafted 700 teams to win $150,000 on Underdog last year. And if you sign up to Underdog Fantasy with promo code FLOCK, they're going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. You're going to get our 2023 fantasy football rankings, a free trial to flockfantasy.com where you can find all of our premium content. And now is the best time to be getting on Underdog Fantasy because they have a site-wide special for Patrick Mahomes tomorrow night against the Detroit Lions, more than less than half a passing yard. They have a Flock exclusive special. Josh Allen, more than less than half a passing yard against the New York Jets on Monday night. Worked my butt off to get y'all that. And then if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, you have an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure y'all are taking advantage of that while y'all still can, ladies and gentlemen. Only going to get all 3 with promo code FLOCK. Okay. Now, our next question coming out from Alex says, giving Waddle and Lockett for Adams. Beautiful. Other wide receivers, Jefferson. Yes, go ahead and do this, especially in an 8-team league, my man. Great team, 8-team league. The only thing that matters is getting the best player in return. So far in this live draft, we had Cooper Kupp go up pick 9 in the first draft of the night. We had Cooper Kupp go up pick like 26 in the second draft of the night. And Cooper Kupp still available. Let's see where he goes now. Brendan says trade Aaron Jones for Kenneth Walker and McLaurin. Akers RB2, Adams wide receiver 1, St. Brown wide receiver 2. Ayuk at the flex. Is Jones for Walker worth adding for McLaurin at the flex? I would rather have Kenneth Walker over Aaron Jones straight up. So hell yeah, I go make the deal. I mean, I'd rather just have the stud running back going into year 2 rather than the running back going to his age 28, 29 season. So Jalen Waddle off. Brett says 12-team PBR, 3 wide receivers and a flex. We have Dak, Eckler, Najee, Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devonta Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Kirk, Hopkins. Ooh, wait one second. We're on the clock in the other one. Okay. But anyway, Kirk, Hollywood, Schultz. Any moves? Should I trade for a quarterback? Honestly, Dak is okay. In the league where you have to start 3 wide receivers, it's going to be a little bit less advantageous for you to go out there and make that kind of move. Especially when we potentially have Hollywood Brown banged up. I think that we honestly keep the roster as is, my man. Unless we could trade St. Brown for Dak and get Dak stacked up with Lamb. Okay. And now to repeat, if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, please do not be getting in a $250 draft. Please just stay to the $5 drafts. Okay, Andrews goes 21. We are going to pass on Kupp here in favor of Derrick Henry. Best ball mania, I definitely would have taken Kupp, but not in this one. Okay, let's see what happens. Devonta Smith goes 23. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, this is nerve-wracking here. I have plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan A, plan B, plan C. See if we get one of them. Christian says, draft alien here. Pleasure drafting with you on our last draft. Let's check out your team, my man. Jalen Hurts, Derek Carr, Baker. Fine going 3 quarterbacks if that third guy's last round. 6 RBs, 6 wide receivers. Generally, I think we probably should have gone with another wide receiver there, my man. But I guess it's okay considering the fact that it's a smaller field, higher stakes tournament. What is Milan Kate doing? They have Tyreek, Devonta Smith at wide receiver. They're willing to go out there. They're willing to get their guy. They took Tyreek Hill too. They go Jacobs. Jacobs was our plan. Spam the chat. Do you want T. Higgins or Cooper Kupp, ladies and gentlemen? This is a $250 buy-in tournament. Who do y'all want? Please spam the chat. I need your help. ASAP. ASAP. Please let me know. I'm looking at the chat on the bottom end of my phone, and I'm listening to y'all. Do y'all want Higgins or Kupp? Looks like most people are saying T. Higgins, so we'll go T. Higgins. I want y'all to see naturally how far Kupp will fall. And also, we have Chase, so we will get the Burrow double stack later on. But I'm about to piss myself, so give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Cooper Kupp is gone at pick 29. That's like such a tough spot because it's like, okay, well, we know he has the ceiling to win us the tournament. But at the same time, I mean, how dumb are we going to end up looking if we go ahead and we take Cooper Kupp and the man just doesn't play? Now, Choose coming out says 12-team PPR. My team is Geno, Debo, Etienne, Ramadre, Waller, Watson, Javonte, Frenson, and trade Pollard, Diggs for my Jefferson. What do you think? If it is a league with multiple flex spots, we can do it. A league with one flex spot is going to be a lot harder to give up the best player. Carson says, who should I start full BBR? Ayuk or Dobbins? We're definitely going to go Dobbins. Dobbins, way better matchup, way better game environment overall. Okay, so Keenan goes 35. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hit 900 likes on this live stream. Hell, let's get this live stream to 1,000 likes right now. Your boys live stream for like 32 hours over the past 4 days. It seems like I've lived in this room with everything we've done. So please go down there, drop a like on the stream, help us get to 1,000. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I mean, we're streaming every single day until 2024. Cole says 10-team PBR, one flex. We have Burrow, Etienne, Bijan, James Cook, Pacheco, Higgins, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Dotson, Pickens, Kincaid, Laporta. Any advice for week 1? I would like to start a non-rookie tight end if that was an option. Doesn't look like that is an option for us, but I'd like to see if we can trade like Pickens and Kincaid to go get a better tight end. Blind says 12-team Superflex start 10. Mims, 2 seconds, or Ridley in a third. If you're a contender, let's go Ridley in a third. Okay. Avinash says, if Kelsey is out, should we start Gray, Juwan, or Higbee? Oh, definitely Higbee, my man. Not even close. Higbee's in a great spot with no Kupp. Higbee's going to be flooded with targets. Justin says 12-team PBR start 3 wide receivers. We have Mahomes, Brees, Jamal, Mostert, Tyreek, AJ, Debo, Goddard, Pickens. Thank God we have Jamal and Mostert at the beginning of the season. We need to be rostering as many running backs as possible on the bench to get some options in for the long term, though. I mean, we're here good in the short term. Long term, it's going to be a world of pain if we can't find another option. Francis says, pick 2 wide receivers, Watson, Sutton, or Pittman. We're going to go Watson and Sutton if Watson's healthy. We're going to go Sutton and Pittman if Watson's not healthy. And that's assuming Judy does not play. Now, Abduron coming out again says Allen Madison, Aaron Jones, Tyreek, AJ Brown, Amari. And then on the bench, we have Gabe Davis, Khalil Herbert, Brees Hall, Antonio Gibson. Should I upgrade running back? What's the most to give for Jacobs? If you want to go out there and get Josh Jacobs, I would love to trade Gabe Davis with any running back that we have to get Josh Jacobs. If we could trade a bench wide receiver with literally any running back that we have to get Jacobs, I would do that now. If not, it doesn't hurt to go through and wait until we see what we have week 1 with those RBs and then reevaluate on if we need to make a move then. Now, Burrow off the board at 42 to a team that has no stack. Very weird on that. But we will, I guess, go ahead and take Najee Harris. I would rather have Najee over London. Now, Melito coming out says, 10-team happy BR, double flex. We have Watson, Barkley, Chubb, Olave, Ridley, Hawkinson, Godwin, Dobbins. And then on the bench, we have Ayuk, Addison, Charbonnet, Mitchell, and Bateman. Great team, especially in a double flex league where we have the depth at running back and wide receiver, and we still have the elite quarterback tight end. I personally would go ahead and see if we can trade Ridley for Amari if we have Deshaun Watson, but that's just me. Okay. Actually going to take Aaron Jones here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to mix it up. We're going to go RB. Generally, I go with a lot of like TJ Hawkinson here, but I like the tight end value late more than the running back value late now. Got Ayuk off the board. Frio says, what's your opinion on picking up Kareem Hunt off waivers? If you would have asked me a month ago, I said great idea. If you ask me now, I'd say don't bother. Thomas says 10-team BBR, rate the squad. We have Lamar, Amon-Ra, Godwin, Chubb, JT, Kamara, Mike Williams, Andrews, Mostert, Sutton, Hollywood, and Gibson. 10-team league, having the Lamar Andrews stack, not rostering a backup quarterback, backup tight end, focusing on running back, wide receiver, upside down there on the bench. Love it. If we could trade Mostert. Actually, no, we want Mostert because we have JT. We have a great team. A great team top to bottom there. Okay. Madison goes 54. Let's go ahead. Let's move this down. Carson coming out with a massive dono says 12-team league, full BBR double flex. We have Lamar at quarterback. Running back, we have Chubb, Ramondre. Wide receiver, we have Diggs, DJ Moore. Greg Dulcich at tight end. We also have Ayuk, Pittman, Dobbins, Elijah Moore, Charbonnet, Bateman, Devon Achane, Dobbs, and Van Jefferson. Okay. Double flex league, 12-team format. Depth's going to be a little bit more important. Down there on the bench, we have upside pieces, but we definitely don't have anybody that we're super, super confident with. We're well balanced at wide receiver, running back at the very top. We did punt tight end, which I'm a little bit more okay with in this format in particular. I think it's a good team for the time being. If we end up getting a breakout from like Zach Charbonnet, Bateman, Devon Achane, Romeo Dobbs, or any of those younger options, if they break out and we feel a little more comfortable with our depth, then at that point, I think we can go ahead and we can pick up, a tight end upgrade. I would say as a quick side note, if you wanted to drop Romeo Dobbs and roster 2 tight ends when we had Greg Dulcich, I think that could make sense. I like making the consolidated bet on the Baltimore offense, though, having Lamar, Dobbins, and Rashad Bateman all in the same squad. Okay. Now, McLaurin off the board at pick 60. Yeah, McLaurin definitely needs to be moving up these boards now. Now, Lexi says, hope you're doing well, Mason. Dotson or Sky this week? We're going to go ahead. We're going to go Dotson, even with LD Terry McLaurin. Excuse says, started watching recently. Velt missed me so much. Thank you. No, thank you, my man. And Hauser out here says, 10-team BBR double flex, where we have Fields, Chubb, Etienne, Tyreek, T. Higgins, TJ Hawkinson, Mike Williams, Cam Akers. And then on the bench, we have Geno, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Sky Moore, Zay Kincaid. What are your thoughts? I'm fine rostering 2 quarterbacks if Geno's that second guy. I'd love to upgrade from Cam Akers if we can. First thing is start Brian Robinson over Akers in the flex this week if we can't do this trade before Sunday. Then second thing is if we can eventually package together like Sky Moore or Dalton Kincaid and Cam Akers to get a running back upgrade there, I think it would make a lot of sense. And I would also trade Mike Williams for DJ Moore if we can when we have Justin Fields. With this, Gabe Davis off the board, 64. Okay. How far does Taylor fall until we have to consider Taylor? Taylor's a lot more appealing like Best Ball Mania, where there are other teams drafted where he was at a much higher price than he is here. Montgomery goes 66. Kittle off 67. Jacob says 12-team PBR format. We have Kirk, Pollard, Barkley, Devonta Smith, Lockett, Hawkins, and Ramondre. The bench, we have Addison and Van Jefferson. I trade Pollard and Kirk for Hurts and Moss. No, this is essentially Tony Pollard for Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. Can't trade Tony Pollard for him, though. Javonte goes 68. So running backs on the way back around are being thinned out. What does this team do here in front of us? There you go, Pittman. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking Jonathan Taylor here. We will take Jonathan Taylor, pick 70, and set up a prayer that he's good to go. And Braden says, a 14-team full BBR 1 flex. I had the 110. Goff, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Kenneth Walker, Dalvin Cook, Hockenson, Moody. And then on the bench, Richardson, Dillon, Zeke, and Gallup. 14-team league. Obviously, depth's going to matter a little bit more. Love the combo of Goff and Richardson. The elite level wide receivers are running back to play immediately. Great team. We have running back upside down there the bench with Dillon, Zeke as well. I love that team top to bottom. Okay, some more running backs go. we're going to go ahead. We will take Evans. I think you can make an argument to go with either Judy or Smith here. But the thing is, when we go Taylor, I mean, we have already taken a shot on the long-term upside. We need more so someone that can play at the beginning of the season, right? Easy Eddie, long time member of the Flocks, is stashed to Roshan, Spears, or Gainwell. We're going to go Roshan and Gainwell, my friend. Kindrel says trade CMC and Nico for Pollard and Waddle. And most likely not. Keep CMC. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting in another draft after this. If you want to join one with us, this is your last chance to get into an Underdog best ball draft. We're going to be doing a $5 draft, not another $250. But if you sign up to Underdog with promo code FLOCK, they're going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Plus, you'll get our 2023 fantasy football rankings, a free trial to flockfantasy.com where you can find all of our premium content. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, now is the perfect time to get on Underdog Fantasy because they have a site-wide special. Patrick Mahomes, more than less than half a total yard for the Detroit Lions game tomorrow. Plus, you have a Josh Allen Flock exclusive special, more than less than half a passing yard for the Jets game on Monday. And if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you're taking advantage of that ASAP while you still can. I mean, the game is tomorrow night, so you got to do this pretty much right now. And of course, promo code FLOCK's going to be the only way you get all 3 of those special pick'ems. Let's move this down. And next question coming out from Country Connected, who says 10-team PPR format where we have Watson, Mixon, Ramadre, Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Njoku. Then we have Keenan. And then on the bench, we have London, Dobbins, Pickens, Mostert, Zeke, and Elijah Mitchell. What are your thoughts? We have so much depth here that I think we can afford to go out there and get an upgrade at tight end. If we could trade London and Njoku to go get TJ Hawkinson, I think that'd make a ton of sense just because when we're sitting with Dobbins, Pickens, Mostert, Zeke, Mitchell, you have a great team top to bottom. It's a 10-team format, so depth's not going to matter as much, and we have all of it in the world. I'd love to go through and make a move like that. Excuse me says, would you ever do a one-on-one draft help? Would be fire content. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, we don't offer like one-on-one Zoom calls for drafts. I'm very sorry. I mean, we've been live for like 36 hours. I mean, at this point. I can't go through and find any more time. I wish I could. I promise you. Okay, we are 3 likes away. Now only 1 like away from hitting 1,000 likes on this live stream. If you have not done so already, please go down there, drop a like on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Be our 1,000th like of the stream. Okay. Sky Moore goes 88. Okay. Evan Ingram off at 90. We still need a tight end. We still need a quarterback. We have neither position. Logan says full BBR Montgomery, London, or Cortland Sutton in the flex this week. We're going to go ahead. We will put David Montgomery in there, my man. I will say make sure that you don't put him actually in the flex. Put him at running back 2 and move your running back 2 to the flex. And never flex a Thursday night guy. James Conner goes 92, so we don't have to think about taking him for the 3rd draft in a row at the end of the 8th. I don't want to be taking any more actually, let's just send it. Let's go Dalvin. I think Dalvin and Taylor is a natural pairing that we have the production at the beginning of the season and the production at the end of the year. Now we're just going to be going quarterback, wide receiver, tight end through the rest of this draft. Eli says sub-base and 10-team PBR format where we have Burrow, Saquon Pierce, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Waller, Hopkins, Lockett, Pittman, Jacoby, Dylan, Singletary, Gino. What are your thoughts? Moss or Van Jefferson off waivers another season with you. Thank you so much, my man, for coming back. I will say a couple different things. One would be really nice to get a chase stack if we can. If we can take Garrett Wilson and package him with either Lockett, Hopkins, or Pittman to go get Jamar Chase, I think that make a lot of sense. Love the elite level running back with Saquon Barkley. I mean, if we're looking at Darren Waller as a personal preference thing, I would prefer TJ Hawkinson. If we could trade Darren Waller for TJ Hawkinson, I think that'd be interesting. But we have a ton of value on this team. I think you could also look to drop Geno Smith if you didn't have to roster a backup. I mean, if you don't want to roster a backup quarterback, you don't have to when we have Joe Burrow. Smooth this over. And Jack says 12-team PBR format where we have Herbert, Bijan, Gibbs, Ridley, Godwin, Waller, Deontay. And then on the bench, we have Flowers, Gibson, Charbonnet, Rodgers. Appreciate the feedback. No, thank you. I have a lot of the same feedback as the last team. I mean, if we're sitting here with Justin Herbert, I think it makes sense to trade Godwin and go get Keenan or Mike Williams if we can to get the stack. I would trade Waller for Hawkinson if we could. I'd trade Deontay for Keenan or Mike Williams if they don't want Godwin, either guy. And then also, I think we could drop Aaron Rodgers. We don't need a backup quarterback when we have Herbert. It's literally pretty much copied and pasted with the previous one. Enoch says, how do you plan on keeping your voice this year, brother? We didn't do the 24-hour live stream this year, even though we've been streaming a ton. I don't know. I really hope. I drank some tea earlier today. I never drink tea, but hopefully we can keep the voice. Nab says, what's up, Mason? Super excited for football. Love you. No, love you too, my man. Thank you so much. And yes, I promise you, nobody's more excited than I am for football. I'm freaking pumped. Freaking pumped. Okay. And Link says, Mason, I know you like that Van Jefferson at 97. Dear God. Even if Kupp does not play, Van Jefferson's not returning value there at 97. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, once we go with Dalvin, right, the plan is, the goal is, the hope is we see as many running backs get drafted as possible. Get all these running backs off the board if they can. Okay, Odell Beckham Jr. goes 108. Link telling us we will be sorry. We'll see, my man. Obviously, if you're at 97, like you don't have another 24 picks before you're up again. So if you're a big Van Jefferson believer, you have to take him there. It seems like every time we go through and we start streaming this much, we get sick. That's the thing. It's like when we start doing these wild streams in days, it's like the same time like the seasons start to change where everybody naturally starts to get sick. Then I get sick, lose my voice, I'm completely crushed. So let's move this over. Ryan says, last draft of the night. No, we're going to be getting in a puppy draft after this one, my friend. Boyd goes 114. Boyd not in play for us whenever we went Chase and Higgins and did not get Burrow. Lazard 115. This is best case scenario for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yes. And Njoku goes, so we're going to get Pat Freiermuth. I mean, we were really looking to get a tight end with upside here at 120. I mean, at 118. Love to see Freiermuth make it this far for us. Like we said, we can not go quarterback. I mean, we can only go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end through the rest of this draft. CeeLo says, full BBR 12-team league. We have Watson, James Cook, Bijan, Amari, Dotson, Hawkinson, Deion Jackson. And then on the bench, we have Cordell Patterson, P. Ryan, Deontay Higbee, Kupp, JT. It's going to be tough to get by with Kupp and JT. If we could trade Higbee for a flex option in the short term, why not start Deontay over Deion Jackson? Two, if we could trade Higbee and Deontay to get any upgrade out running back or wide receiver so we have a better flex, because we need a better flex option. We can't roster two tight ends whenever we have both Kupp and JT at the moment, my man. So, I mean, in general, we don't really have many options here. We can't. I guess we could go Rodgers if we really wanted to pair with Dalvin. Let's do it. F it. Who cares? Smaller field, stacks don't matter as much. Let's just go ahead. Let's just get Aaron Rodgers 123. I don't want to take Juju here. I mean, maybe they're before the injury report, but not until. Now, Carlos Sese Mason in a 1.5 PBR league. Should I trade Fields and Amon-Ra St. Brown for Mahomes and Hawkinson? No. Not even in a tight end premium format. We have Jefferson Wilson in Frymuth at tight end. No, we can't do it. I mean, it's a little bit closer because it's a tight end premium format. I really like Frymuth as well, though. Jake coming out says 10-team PBR format where we have Hurts, Bijan, Pierce, Diggs, Godwin, Schultz, Lockett. And then on the bench, we have Devon Achane, Zach Charbonnet, Rashad White, Jordan Addison, JSN, Christian Watson, Jacoby Myers. God Squad, should we drop Myers for Dulcich or Everett? So our tight end is Dalton Schultz. We don't have a backup tight end, so I would pick your favorite between the two. I know Everett goes higher in the majority of these drafts at this point, but I think it does make sense to roster two tight ends if Dalton Schultz is our number one guy. Myers never going to make the difference for you here. We have the elite level quarterback. We have great wide receivers. We have freaking Bijan Robinson. A great team. And yes, you read my mind. That's what we're going to look to do. Now, Natal coming out says, got Bijan, Kupp, Taylor. Very tough to take Kupp and Taylor on the same team. Gibbs, Olave, Burrow, Dobbins, Pittman, and Njoku, Brees. 10-team league, PPR. What are your thoughts? Okay. Strong team overall. I would love to see if we could package together Pittman with another option down on the bench to see if we could get to T. Higgins to stack with Burrow. But the thing is, we may be in a tough spot, at least at the beginning. Because having, Burrow and... you can take a shot on Kupp. You can take a shot on JT. But taking a shot on both is going to be so tough to get away with. So tough. Trailer Bar Boy says, I need a sleeper. What you got? I would go Elijah Mitchell at the very end. With Mitchell, you have the elite level ceiling if anything were to occur to CMC, but you also have some usable weeks, even if CMC is healthy. Can't decide on what to do with the running back. 10-team at PBR format. We have Allen, Eckler, Mostert, St. Brown, DK, Kittle, Williams. And then the bench, we have Hall, Deontay. I think you're good, my man. Yeah, start Mostert week 1. And then keep Breece Hall down there on the bench and have the long-term upside of Breece Hall possibly expanding his role. Even if Raheem Mostert's situation gets a little bit worse, Breece Hall should get better as the season progresses. So I think it's nice. Man, let's move this over. Kenny Pickett goes 136. And now Driz says, just finished my draft at pick 10. We have Cook, Lamb, Deontay, Andrews, London, Javonte. How did we do? I don't like it, my man. I do not like this. Unless I'm missing someone. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, yeah. It got cut off for us. Never mind. We have Lamar, Barkley, Cook. Okay, this makes so much more. We have the Lamar, Andrews stack. We have the elite receiver running back combo with Lamb and Barkley. We have high upside running backs, wide receivers down on the bench. We get the double stack with Flowers. Beautiful team. I love it. I'm sorry. Initially, the message got cut off and I didn't see those round 1 guys. I was going, okay, well, we took Lamb round 1, but who the hell did we get round 2? It just makes me up a little bit here, my man. But we are quarterback, wide receiver, tight end from here on out. We are going to go ahead. I think we are going to we'll take Sam Laporta. We'll get another tight end. We have Laporta and Frymuth here as 2 tight ends so far. Okay. Looks like Puppy is at 98% filled, ladies and gentlemen. So this is your last chance to get into a draft with us tonight on the live stream. Make sure you are taking advantage of it ASAP. Find that link in the live chat description, comment section. Promo code FLOCK, 100% deposit match up to $200. Plus our 2023 fantasy football rankings. A free trial to flockfantasy.com where you can find all our premium content. And now is the best time to do it, because Underdog has a special Patrick Mahomes site-wide special pick'em, more than less than half a passing yard against the Lions week 1. On top of it, you have an exclusive Josh Allen special pick'em, more than less than half a passing yard against the Jets Monday night. And then if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, you get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you are taking advantage of this while you still can. You're only going to get all 3 with promo code FLOCK plus a 100% deposit match. Jacob says 12-team Superflex PPR, start 3 wide receivers. We got offered Aaron Jones, DJ Moore for Geno and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Superflex format, obviously Geno's worth a whole lot more. And honestly, just keep Geno and Amon-Ra St. Brown. No, yeah, I mean, I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown straight up over Aaron Jones and DJ Moore. To trade away Geno too there, don't even count it. That's a horrible offer. Gabriel says Goddard and Deontay for Van Jefferson and Andrews. Yeah, I would rather have Andrews over Goddard and Deontay if it's a league with only 1 flex. Enoch, long time. Remember the vlog coming out, says 12-team half BBR format where we're sitting with A.J. Brown in the 2nd, Smith in the 4th. Do I trade one or keep the lows? No, you have a high ceiling there, my man. I mean, I actually won a $100,000 underdog tournament last year with the combination of A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. I mean, you're making that one consolidated bet on the passing offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, no, keep both guys, my man. That is awesome. That is awesome. Nick says, how screwed am I? 12-team league where we have Kupp, Brown, Higgins, Ayuk, Stevenson, Sanders, Dobbins, Pitts, Daniel Jones. Do I have any upside / good news on my team before Kupp returns? If we can start A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Ayuk, we can get by. This is a little bit different than those other teams that we're looking at that have like Kupp and Kamara or Kupp and JT, right? Where there, it's going to be way more difficult for us to get by at the beginning of the season. But here, if we don't have any of those other guys that we're going to be waiting for, I think you're in a very good spot. Okay. Sam Howell off the board, 156. And I want to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, this is best ball. You are not going to take 3 tight ends on the same team anywhere else. Please don't think that. You got people hyping up Sam Howell. Yeah. I mean, Howell looked very good in the preseason. Obviously, a lot of people are pumped about the offensive coordinator. You have good weapons surrounding him. I understand the thought process and why people are excited. Silas coming out, says, great to be a part of the flock. Happy to have you, my man. Happy to have you. Thank you for the donation, Elijah. Okay, so Alec Pierce off the board, 160. Like we said, we can no longer go tight end or running back. So hopefully we get some of these guys off the board soon. Deion Jackson goes 162. Tajee Spears goes. Now, Bryson coming out says just traded Stevenson and Evans for Lamb. Already have Burrow, Hopkins, Saquon, Amon-Ra. Good or no? If it's a league with 1 flex, yes, it's great. League with 1 flex, awesome. We will go ahead. We'll take Gallup here at 166. We just need another shot at wide receiver, right? Take Dell, 167. Crazy to see Dell here. I got him at the literal last pick in the draft before this. Red coming up says, what's up, man? These streams are so fun. Hell yeah, my man. Happy to have you out here with us every night. How BBR flex? What are we going to go? Pittman, Cook, Gibson, or JSN, not the mod league. Okay, we're going to go ahead. I think we are going to take James Cook here, my man. I mean, the thing is with Pittman, low passing volume offense. Gibson, not the game environment for him. JSN, his first game in the NFL. Let's go James Cook. I know you're a Bills fan. Let's go ahead and let's fire it up. Zach Moss goes as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Rondale Moore. and essentially sit here and cry when the Arizona Cardinals are the worst team in the NFL by a mile. Let's move this over. We're at 3 right now, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, running back, we're sitting with Derrick Henry, Najee, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook. Wide receiver, we have Chase, Higgins, Evans, Elijah Moore, Michael Gallup, Rondale Moore. Tight end, we have Freiermuth, Laporta, Schultz. Quarterback, we have Aaron Rodgers. We're going to take 2 more QBs and 1 more wide receiver. Definitely do not want this construction in like a large field $5 best ball tournament on Underdog. High stakes, smaller field. I don't even want to say it's good, but something you can get away with. Vadim said, Underdog did an audit and threw out a lot of drafts today. Yes, I saw them tweet out something that they were doing that, like for game integrity. And let me pull it up. Does that mean there's still spots open in some of the tournaments or no? No, they're not. Okay, Bryce Young goes 177. I did think about the possibility of taking DJ Chark 171 and then end up seeing if we could get Bryce Young at the end of the 16th, but Bryce Young just doesn't fall that far anymore. Okay, Condre Miller off the board at 180. God, who are we getting at quarterback? Let's see. Jeff Wilson goes 161. And Owen coming out says 10-team at BBR, 3 wide receivers and a flex. Quarterback, we have Burrow. Wide receiver, Chase, Olave, Lockett, Ayuk, Collins, Myers, JSN. Running back, we have Jacobs, Pierce, White, Gibson, Devon A-Chain. What are your thoughts? Love the Burrow Chase stack. I mean, 3 wide receiver league. Wide receiver depth's a little bit more important, so it makes sense that we're rostering so many. We have Jacobs, Pierce for the running back production. We have some running backs with upside down there. I really like it. I'm assuming, I guess, in this league, you don't have to start a tight end. Okay. Yeah, Rashid Shaheed going 183. Stafford falling as he should. I mean, he fell a lot in the last draft too. I mean, obviously with the Kupp news, nobody wants the guy. Jose says 10-team PBR format, 105, 1 flex. We have Allen, Chase, Allen, Chubb, Aaron Jones, Njoku, Ayuk, Jamal Williams, Dotson, Dillon, Elijah, Gabe Davis, Ezekiel Elliott. How to improve? I don't think it's easy to improve here. I mean, this is a great spot. If we have Jamal and we don't need him, if there's a chance we could take like Jamal and David Njoku to get an elite level tight end, that'd be nice. If somehow, some way, if the Diggs team really needs a running back and go Jamal and Keenan Allen and get Diggs, love that as well. I don't think we need to do anything though. Okay, now. Okay, oh God, Stafford goes. I guess we can go Parker and then end up coming back around with a Mac Jones selection. Who else would potentially correlate here for us? I guess CJ Stroud with Dalton Schultz. Kyler Murray with Rondale Moore. I don't know if we want to take Kyler. Especially on a team that has Taylor. I don't want to just be lacking so many points at the beginning of the season. Can everybody please spam the chat? What quarterback do you want here? What do you want? Jared says start Montgomery or Khalil. We're definitely going to be going Montgomery even if we have Gibbs. Joe Bar Boys, I believe I did. I'll go through and check it out again. Actually, let me see what people are saying real quick. Okay, see a couple of people saying Stroud. Did we get him in? Yeah, we got CJ Stroud at 195. Now we have some people sneaking in Mac Jones, but we will get CJ Stroud here. Let me see real quick if we can find Trailer Park Boys' question. I'm going to have to control F this, my man. I know for sure we answered a question from you. Okay, that's no longer here. We're going to have to pull it up on the other screen. My man, can you just ask it again in the live chat? Okay, but let's go ahead and let's get into a puppy draft, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, this is the tournament I would recommend for anybody new on Underdog Fantasy. It is a $5 buy-in, $250,000 prize pool. We had a member of the flock win this for $75K last year. Or that was the puppy one, though. Okay. Looks like we're going to be one of the last people to get in this. If we got in. We got in. We got in, ladies and gentlemen. And we are in here at pick 2 as well. Okay, Trailer Park Boys, please don't feel like you have to donate again. Just ask me your question again in the live chat. I want to make sure I answered it. The guy coming out says 10-team ESPN PBR from the 103. Chase Brown. How the hell did we get Brown on the way back? Mixon doubled down on the Bengals offense. Walker, Hawkinson, Lamar. Oh my gosh. Taylor, this is where it makes sense to have Taylor. I mean, we even have Jamal down there to cover the beginning of the season. Phenomenal team. There's nothing I'm looking to do with this squad right now. You're in a great spot. Once we get Taylor back, then at that point, maybe we can make a play and try to upgrade from Hawkinson to Andrews to stack Lamar. But you're in a phenomenal situation here, my man. Love to see that. Okay. Now let's move this over. Green Blogger says, I'm finally in a job with you. Hell yeah, my man. Happy to see it. Happy to see it. Trailer Park Boys, like I said, let me know your question. Oh, yeah, we said this. Elijah Mitchell, my man. We're going to go ahead. We will take Jamar Chase at pick 2. Yeah, Trailer Park Boys, Elijah Mitchell was that name. Okay. Maybe we go CMC just because it's harder to find running backs later on, but it is what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, we just hit 1,100 likes on this live stream. Thank you so much for everybody going down there and dropping a like on the stream. And of course, if you have not done so already, hit that like button. Help us out, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're streaming every single day until 2024. And if you want to hop on Underdog with us, like I said, now is the time to do it. You don't have much longer. There's the Patrick Mahomes special pick'em tomorrow night, more than less than half a passing yard against the Detroit Lions. You have the Josh Allen exclusive, more than less than half a passing yard mark against the New York Jets. And if you are new to Underdog Fantasy as well, you're going to get an additional new customer offer, more than less than it's a mystery special pick'em. I mean, I've never seen Underdog have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you are taking advantage of this while you still can. Link in the live chat, link in the description, link in the comment section. And let's go ahead and let's update the buy-in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is only a $5 buy-in. And yeah, you're only going to get all 3 of those with promo code FLOCK and also 100% deposit match. Clutch Price says 10-team full BBR format. Tua, Saquon, Etienne, Tyreek, Olave, Ridley, Hawkinson at tight end. And then on the bench, we have Taylor, London, Judy, Dak, Jamal. Should I go get a new quarterback? No, we have Tyreek stacked with Olave. I'm sorry, Tyreek stacked with Tua. We have Dak with upside as well, so we're able to play the matchups. I think we sit still maybe long term. If you decide that you really want to go get one, you can. But I would rather wait until we get a little more flexibility with the addition of Taylor and Judy with this team. Charlie says Zay Jones or Christian Kirk. We're definitely going to go Christian Kirk. I think Zay Jones may run more routes, though. Barry says, I noticed you take mostly veteran wide receivers late and stay away from Mingo, Reed. Is this your strategy or just random? And mainly a random thing, my man. Elijah says, 8-team PBR, 1 flex. Upside's the only thing that matters. We have Lawrence, Chubb, Etienne, Jefferson, AJ Brown, Smith, Kittle, Ridley, Javonte. Trade away Ridley, Lawrence, Etienne for Hurts and Mixon. I would never tell anybody to do this in another format, but because this is an 8-team league with 1 flex, yes. And Dean Robo says 10-team PBR where we have Hurts, Henry, Walker, Adams, Devonta Smith, George Kittle, Amari, Mike Williams, Zay, Dillon, Charbonnet, McKinnon, Mooney, Jawan Johnson. Any changes? We have the elite running backs. We have yet Devontae Adams. We have Jalen Hurts. What the hell are we supposed to change? I mean, if we could trade Amari for no, we already have Devonta Smith. If we could trade Adams for AJ Brown to get the double stack with Hurts, that makes a lot of sense. But no, great team. I have a fine roster and 2 tight ends there as well. Solid squad. Francisco says auction draft 12-team, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, and a flex. We have Lawrence, Gibbs, Mixon, Waddle, Amari, Dotson, Andrews, Dillon, Thielen, Dobbs, Conklin, Dulcich, Dell, Hardman. Drop Hardman, go big up running backs off the waiver wire. We can't be rostering this many wide receivers, especially the guys at the very bottom of the roster like Dell and Hardman who really don't have any upside. Yeah, so please go get some running backs off waivers. Love the elite tight ends. If we could trade Amari and go get Calvin Ridley to stack with Lawrence, we do it. But yeah, I like the team outside of that. Just definitely need to be changing the bottom end. Okay. So where does Kupp end up going in this draft, ladies and gentlemen? We are picking at 23. Y'all saw us pass on Cooper Kupp round 2 in the last draft. And we passed on him round 3 in the last draft. Kupp goes 21, so we didn't give the chance to pull the trigger. Bretta James on the clock after going Tyreek Hill, pick 3 in the last round. What are they doing? They go Henry. We're going to take Jacobs to pair up with Chase, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go Josh Jacobs and let's see what happens. Jackson says 1 flex pick. No, pick 1. Jefferson, Kelsey, Hurts. How? I don't even want to look at the rest of the team. You have Jefferson, Kelsey, Hurts. Do we really need to look at the squad, my man? We have Waddle, Kupp. This is nuts. Williams, Brian Robinson, Montgomery, Anthony Rich. This is a great team. There hasn't been a single team all season where I've been able to draft Jefferson, Kelsey, Hurts on the same squad. Freaking nuts. We have the QB 1, the tight end 1, and the wide receiver 1. Now, Shrez says, hey, it's a 10-team league with only 1 flex. We have Lamar, Lamb, Kirk, McLaurin, CMC, Pacheco, Kittle. Bench is Hall, Cupps, Cooks, Penny, Schultz, Tua. What do we do here? I definitely don't want to be rostering a backup quarterback and a backup tight end if our quarterback is Lamar. We're going to go ahead. We're going to drop Tua if we can't trade him. Obviously, plan A is we go trade Tua and Brandon Cooks. Go get a wide receiver upgrade. That way we could potentially fill in for Kupp if we do to at the beginning of the year. And then also I think that we backfill in with another running back off the waiver wire with upside. But yeah, I definitely am fine keeping Schultz as a backup with Kittle. I just don't want a backup quarterback and a backup tight end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go pee again. I'm sorry. We've been chugging water to make sure my voice doesn't go out. Okay, we are back in. I'm sorry about that. And Bro Moment coming out says 12-team league where we have Cousins, Ramondre Madison, Diggs, Lamb, Kittle, Hopkins at the flex. I mean, it's hard to know without seeing the bench down there. I mean, but with Cousins, I would somehow, some way we can get to Jefferson. It makes sense. But yeah, hard to know without seeing the bench. And ladies and gentlemen, the lady wanted to come say hi. Do you want to tell them hi? Come here. I know. You always want to come say hi, don't you? You always like coming and saying hi, don't you? You want to tell them to drop a like on the stream? You tell them? No, my good girl. Say, drop a like on the live stream. Hit that like button. Do it now. Okay, good girl. You got them good. Got them good. I know, you can go into there. Okay. Now, outside of this, and no big surprises, ETN continues to climb in the draft, but honestly, he should have been all offseason. And Devin coming out says, 10T BBR double flex. We have Mahomes, Gibbs, Madison, Cook Bros, Ridley, DJ Moore, Kelsey, JSN, Goff, Lazard, Sky, Ferguson. Drop Ferguson. Actually, no, we keep him week 1. Even Kelsey can still miss tomorrow. I would love to. I just don't want a backup quarterback, backup tight end if we have Mahomes, Kelsey. The reason we have these guys so we don't have to roster backup. Once Kelsey's fully healthy, drop Ferguson, drop Goff now, go pick up running backs off the waiver wire. But team with a ton of upside. I really do like it. I mean, having Mahomes and Kelsey is so damn good when Kelsey's healthy. Debo makes it all the way down to 44 in this draft. 40. Bull says 3 wide receiver at BBR 12-team league. We have Allen, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Godwin, Johnston, Chark, Samuel, Mixon, Akers, Kyron Williams, Brad Robinson, Elijah Mitchell, Kyle Pitts. What are our thoughts? 3 wide receiver league. And fine having the wide receiver depth, especially at the very top end. I would just like to sell Akers. I mean, I'm panic selling Akers right now, if I'm going to be honest with you. I know you can maybe make the argument, well, Mason with no Kupp, they run the ball more. No, with no Kupp, they just don't move the ball down the field. They're more 3 and outs. So if we can sell Akers and go get a running back just in a better offense, I would, my friend. Now, Burrow goes. Good for us. We have Allen. We don't need Burrow. Big Dog says, league mate offered Ramondre for Pacheco and Gibbs. I'd rather have Gibbs than Ramondre. Scott says, trade Pitts and Mixon for Andrews. We have Lamar, Bijan, Jacobs. One flex league where depth's not going to matter as much. I think we can. Jesus says, flex Brian Robinson, Ayuk, Khalil Herbert, or Raheem Mostert. I think we're going to go ahead and take Raheem Mostert. It was a super high scoring game. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get Kenneth Walker here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know Kenneth Walker's my guy. We're going to get him. Okay, let's move this over. Now, Jeremy says 12-team BBR 3 flex. We have Herbert, Bijan, Walker, Javonte, Elijah Mitchell, Kupp, St. Brown, Watson, Kirk, Evans, Van Jefferson, Mingo, Higbee. Fine rostering the 2 tight ends here. Would be nice to sell Christian Watson for either Keenan or Mike Williams. Mingo does have upside, so it's fine to have him on the squad as well. We're well balanced at wide receiver. I like the team. We just got to get by with Kupp, right? The goal is just skirt by with Kupp until he comes back, and if we can, we're dominating. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get Hawkinson. I mean, lately in underdog drafts, it's been so much easier to find wide receiver values than it was earlier in the season. Okay. Logie coming out says, 10T BBR 1 flex, Jackson, Chase, Waddle, Pollard, Connor, Andrews, Sutton, Hall, Deontay, Dak, Sky, and Elijah Moore. Dak, Charbonnet, JT on the IR. What are we thinking? So we have the Lamar, Andrews stack. We don't really need Dak. If we could take Dak and package it together like Sutton, get a better flex, I think that'd be very interesting. Because, I mean, the flex options that we have right now are just uninspiring, even in a 10-team 1 flex league. I mean, we do want someone decent there. I really like the team at the very top. It's just, if we could trade Dak and Connor and go get a running back upgrade, or Dak and Sutton and go get a flex upgrade, I think it'd make a lot of sense. Okay, I see a bunch of people going out there and arguing Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson in the live chat. Do y'all want to know what the real answer to the Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson argument is? On who's better? Oh my God, this guy's way better than this other guy. No, this guy's way better. The reality of the matter is they're about the same. If you're sitting here and screaming that Terry McLaurin is 10 times better than Jahan Dotson, you're wrong. If you're out here screaming that Jahan Dotson is 10 times better than Terry McLaurin, you're wrong. Don't overthink it, ladies and gentlemen. They fit in the same bucket. They're kind of the same mold. They should kind of be treated the same as fantasy. Yeah, Rex says we don't know. Yeah, maybe one's better than the other, but I don't know. Okay. But now, Ahmed coming out says 12-team super flex league where we have Lamar, Tua, Hal, perfect. Etienne, Madison, Dobbins, Devon Achane, Wilson, Ridley, McLaurin, Cooks. Really like this in a 12-team league. It would be really nice. I'm fine having Lamar on stack because we're betting on rushing upside. It would be nice to have Tua stacked up. We could trade Ridley for Waddle. I'm fine having the 2 tight ends if these are our 2 tight ends. We have running backs with upside. Great team. Great team. Stan says 3 wide receiver at BBR 12-team format. We have Lawrence, Barkley, Monster, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Amari, Odell, Waller. I would trade Waller for Hawk if I could. Hopkins, Dalvin, Higbee, Pickett on the bench. Should we trade for another top RB? I don't think we trade for another top RB because we at least have Monster to get us by at the beginning of the season in the perfect situation. There's just no situation where I want to be rostering 2 defenses. Let's go ahead and let's drop one of the defenses. I'd probably keep the Eagles since they're going to be leading the majority of games, and you typically in fantasy want defenses that are out to a large lead. That way they can generate sacks and generate turnovers. So I dropped the Saints defense, pick up another running back off the waiver wire, and if you really wanted to keep Pickett, we can. We just can't be rostering a backup. Tight ends, can't be rostering a backup defense and a backup quarterback. We need to have some more running back depth down there in the bottom end. Jesse says 12-team at BBR double flex. Got offered Mixon for Debo. Definitely take Mixon there. Batty coming out says 12-team double flex. We have Watson, Pierce, Brees, Lamb, Diggs, Higbee, Akers, Kirk, and on the bench, Jamal, Warren. I like the team overall. I definitely play Jamal over Cam Akers. And I'd potentially look to go ahead and see if we can sell Cam Akers. Actually, I guess we probably play Cam Akers over Brees week 1, right? So I play Jamal over Brees week 1 and see if we can get a suitor for Cam Akers where we can pivot off of Akers to a running back on a better team. Okay. George Kittle goes 69. Bretta James on the clock. What are you doing here, my friend? Are they in auto? No, they go Addison. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Mike Evans here, ladies and gentlemen. We only had one wide receiver. We had the anchor wide receiver with Jamar Chase out the gate at pick 2. We definitely need to go ahead and grab another wide receiver if we can. JSN goes 72. JSN was going to be who we were looking at 74. And D Jr. says 12-team PPR league with only one flex. We have Hurts, Bijan, Hall, Diggs, Godwin, Andrews, London, Cousins, Addison, Charbonnet, Deion Jackson. What do you think? And how do we start / trade? We're going to go ahead and take Sanders. I think it's great. We have the elite running back. We have the elite level quarterback. We have elite level tight end. We don't need to roster backup tight end or quarterback if we don't want to. If we could possibly patch together like Cousins and Addison and go get an upgrade at wide receiver, I think that'd be interesting. Like even if it's something small, just like Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? Open up another roster spot for us to play plays at running back. Especially because if we have Brees Hall at the beginning of the season, we don't know his role. That'd be interesting. But yeah, really the only thing I'd be looking to do is if we can sell Cousins with a depth wide receiver to get a slight upgrade at wide receiver, that makes sense. Okay. Now GDF coming out says 12-team PPR double flex. We have Justin Herbert at quarterback. Wide receiver, we have Kupp, Lamb, Diggs, Dotson, Hollywood, Elijah Moore. Tight end, we have Hawkinson, Kincaid. Running back, we have JT. We can't be rostering two tight ends here. Kincaid for long-term upside when we have Kupp and JT on this team. If you have Kupp, JT on this team, we can't be thinking of long-term upside with a backup tight end, especially in a double flex league. You have to go through, you have to trade Dalton Kincaid and a running back like Zach Charbonnet to get someone who's going to produce right now. Like, I like the long-term upside of it. I think it's a team with a lot of value. You just can't get away with like rostering Kupp, JT, and then at the bottom end of the team, just thinking about long-term value with some of these rookies as well. Okay, so K Squared Golf says, loving the late night content. Thank you, my man. 10-team BBR where we have Fields, Hill, Wilson, Jacobs, Ramadre, Goddard, Ridley. And then on the bench, we have Pacheco, Dobbins, Brandon Cooks, Dotson. What are your thoughts? We have so much freaking depth on this team that I think we can afford to go out there and upgrade somewhere in the starting lineup. Like if we can take, say, Jahan Dotson and package it with Dallas Goedert to go get an upgrade at tight end, I think that'd make a lot of sense. Or maybe even like Dotson and Fields if we can get to one of the big four quarterbacks. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal team, my friend. The only reason I'm saying this is because we can afford it. DNB says Mike Williams over Amari week 1 or rock with Amari. I really like the matchup for Mike Williams. Like if I'm going to go ahead and pull up the rankings that I have for them this week, they're pretty damn close. Right now I have Mike Williams at 19. I have Amari at 16. If you look at their underdog pick'ems, they're pretty much identical at 59.5 yards. I'm probably going to go Amari though. Jake says with Kupp out, start Sky, Pittman, or JSN. We're going to go with Pittman even if it's not exciting. And Cara coming out says, need to start 2 wide receivers, Williams, DJ Moore, Christian Watson. We're going to go with Mike Williams and DJ Moore with the Christian Watson hamstring. Mr. Filthy Dub says, 10-team BBR where we have Fields, Eckler, Mixon, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Njoku, Hopkins, Kirk. And then on the bench, we have Penny, P. Ryan, Montgomery, Lazard, Elijah Moore. We get tight end and a flex. What are your thoughts? I actually think that you're in a very good spot. I'm actually not going to be making any trades for the moment. Instead, I'll just go ahead and I'll change something with the starting lineup. I would definitely play David Montgomery over Christian Kirk. Now, keep in mind, with the Thursday night guy, you're never going to play him in the flex. So just move Joe Mixon down to the flex in case something happens. Put David Montgomery into the starting lineup and then take Christian Kirk down out of the lineup and put him on your bench. Like right now, it looks like Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley are going to be the guys that are on the field for 2 wide receiver sets. Okay, so let's move this back around, ladies and gentlemen. Sutton, Evan Ingram, both off the board. I don't want to say anything because I think a couple of people out here are with us in this live stream. But Kate coming out says 18 PBR format where we start 3 wide receivers, but still 8-team league. Who cares? I mean, depth doesn't matter. Mahomes, Pollard, Mixon, St. Brown, Hopkins, Thomas, Dotson, Freiermuth, Madison, Kelsey, Kupp. Oh, beautiful. 8-team league, Kelsey, Kupp. Great spot to be in. Obviously, long-term, we don't need Freiermuth, but it's nice to have him just in case Kelsey misses a game or two. I'm actually fine rostering Kupp. 8-team format. We're just chasing the highest ceiling possible long-term. Drop Tutu Atwell. There's no reason to roster him. I mean, maybe Atwell can be a field stretcher and get on the field, but he's not really going to make a difference from a fantasy football perspective. Drop Atwell, pick up another running back off the waiver wire. But great team. Of course, every team in an 8-team league is going to look pretty damn good. But still, I think that's a good team, even for an 8-team format. Okay, so Johnson goes 93. Bretta James on the clock. What are they doing? They go wide. We're going to go ahead. We will take Treylon Burks here, ladies and gentlemen. We need another wide receiver. Burks it looks like he is good to go. And we know for sure we'll get another running back on the turn if we want one. Okay. Bateman goes. So let's go ahead. Let's take Brian Robinson here, ladies and gentlemen, as an RB4. Let's swing this back around. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you don't know what we're doing, we're drafting on Underdog Fantasy. It's where we drafted every single day for, almost a year at this point. And this is where we drafted 700 teams, $150,000 on Underdog last year. Best ball, no time commitment at all during the year. If you want to get on Underdog, now is the perfect time because they have a site-wide special with Patrick Mahomes more than less than half a passing yard against the Detroit Lions tomorrow night. On top of this, they have a Josh Allen exclusive week 1 special only for people who use promo code FLOCK, more than less than half a passing yard against the Jets on Monday night. And if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, you also get an additional mystery special pick'em. I've never seen Underdog have 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure y'all are taking advantage of this before it's too late, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the game's tomorrow night. Promo code FLOCK's also going to give you a 100% deposit match up to $200. But let's go ahead and let's find our next question. This one coming out from, I believe, Jeremy says, 1 flex league, 12-team PPR. We have Lawrence, Bijan, Sanders, Lamb, Olave, Andrews, Jamal, London, JT. And then on the bench, we have Jason, Chark, Tony, Devon Achane, Kenny Pickett. So when we only have 1 running back down there on the bench, especially with JT on the IR, I definitely want to be prioritizing running back depth. I think we can cut DJ Chark, pick up another running back off the waiver wire. And honestly, I find cutting Pickett as well. Unless everybody in your league's rostering 2 quarterbacks, and you would say, okay, well, we can't get a quarterback off the waiver wire if we really need to in a case of a Lawrence injury. Tyler says, 10-team PPR 1 flex, Diggs, Amon-Ra, Allen, Olave, TJ, Taylor, Akers, Pacheco, Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Tony, Mitchell, Warren. Thoughts overall, which running backs week 1? I love it in the long term. The question is, can we get by without Jonathan Taylor at the beginning of the season? Running backs week 1, we're going to be going with David Montgomery and Brian Robinson. And yeah, I mean, at least we'll get something to look forward to tomorrow night. Now, Daniel says 10-team BBR format where we have 1 flex. We have Mahomes, CMC, Sanders, Wilson, Olave, Goddard, Amari. And then on the bench, we have Mike Williams, DJ Moore, and Sutton, Pat Frymuth, P. Ryan, Tyler Algier, Rashad Penny. Really like that we're rostering the running backs at the bottom of the bench that have upside to actually move the needle for us. We have the elite level RB and wide receiver combo with Wilson, CMC. Hell, we have Mahomes. Great team. I don't think we look to do anything there. Phenomenal team, my man. And Gord coming out says 14-team BBR format with 1 super flex and 1 flex. So definitely highly incentivized to go out there and build around quarterback in a 14-team super flex league. I mean, in comparison to like a 10-team league, 14-team league, quarterbacks are going to be so much harder to come by. We have Herbert, Watson, Jimmy G. Perfect. Pollard, Cook, Mostert, Chuba Hubbard, Keenan, McLaurin, Burks, Thomas, and Njoku. This is a phenomenal team in a 14-team league, my man. We even have Herbert stacked up with Allen. If we could trade Terry McLaurin and a small piece and somehow get to Amari, that'd be great. But yeah, 14-team league, you just do the simple math. I mean, it's going to be hard for everybody, or really anybody, to compete with you at quarterback there. Okay. Now, Truth says 10-team BBR 3 flex. We have Kirk, Eckler, Connor, St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Schultz, Sanders, Dotson, Amari. And then on the bench, we have Montgomery, Williams, Thielen, Van Jefferson, Dulcich, Dotson, or Montgomery at the flex. Now that it looks like Terry McLaurin's going to play, we're going to go Montgomery. But remember, don't be putting Montgomery into your actual flex spot since he plays on Thursday night. You want to be putting Montgomery into a running back spot and then slide down like Austin Eckler. Put Eckler in a flex just in case something happens on Sunday and go through and put David Montgomery in at running back. Waggaber says, good luck to everyone. Go Dobbins. Yes, sir. Good luck, everyone. And Dobbins in a great spot this week. I mean, Dobbins going to crush against the Texans. Okay, so let's move this over. Tyler Boyd goes 112. Monster. Okay, so what's the healthy going into week 1? Okay, good report. Mims off 115. Okay, what is happening here? We still need a wide receiver, so I don't know. I mean, we can do anything, but Just we can doesn't mean we should. Mr. Philly Webb says, got another league for you. 12-team PPR where we have Fields, Jacobs, Gibbs, Lamb, Ayuk, Ingram, Evans, Dotson. And then on the bench, we have Pirine, Singletary, Dion, Gabe Davis, and Bateman. Okay, we have 2 running back ones. We have the elite level wide receiver. We have a solid tight end. We have guys with upside there in the flex. Rostering running backs down there the bench primarily with upside wide receivers. Great team. I'm trying to come up with anything. If we trade Ayuk or Dotson and go get more for the field stack, that make a lot of sense. But by no means is that something that we have to do. I think it's just something that we can do. Great team. Great team. Philip Van says, 10-team PPR double flex. We have Hurts, Chubb, Henry, Herbert, Hopkins, Evans, Lockett, Hollywood, Sky, Andrews. Got offered A.J. Brown for Hopkins, and hell yes. Go ahead and do this right now. 10-team league, double flex. I mean, if it was going to be a format where instead maybe it was a 12-team or a 14-team league, then depth would matter a little bit more. 10-team league, pull the trigger. Jay Stevens says, we ever use Spotify? Thanks. Possibly, my man. Looking into it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to pass out. Y'all can probably tell how tired I am. I'm going to have to live stream till like 2 in the morning tomorrow night after the game. So we're most likely going to call the stream here, ladies and gentlemen. I've been live for almost 3 hours at this point. Did like a 5-hour live stream earlier this morning. So really, really do appreciate y'all. Of course, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with us tonight. We will be live before and after the game tomorrow. So, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like. And yeah, and last but not least, make sure you take advantage of it ASAP because it's not going to be there that long. You got Patrick Mahomes special pick'em on Underdog Fantasy, more than less than half a passing yard. Josh Allen special pick'em on Underdog Fantasy for Monday night, more than less than half a passing yard. And if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, an additional mystery special pick'em. You are only going to get all 3 of them with promo code FLOCK, plus a 100% deposit match up to $200, plus our 2023 fantasy football rankings. A free trial to flockfantasy.com where you can find all of our premium content. I've never seen Underdog do 2 special pick'ems the same week, let alone 3. So please make sure you're taking advantage of it while you still can. Appreciate y'all so damn much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to go to sleep and hopefully I get to see you out in a live stream tomorrow night.